All right, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of the GDQ Hotfix. Glad to have you all here. I am Darkman78, and as you can see on the screen, we're going to be playing some Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. For those who aren't aware, it was kind of a game that came out originally. It was Japan only, as the sequel to the original Super Mario Brothers, and it's developed quite a following since. It's featured now in the All Stars category and All Stars version on the Super Nintendo. And yeah, we're gonna show off a bunch of different categories in this game. You're gonna see everything from Mario to Luigi to a few stages to a lot of stages. We're gonna showcase everything about Lost Levels, kind of a community celebration of the game. So we're glad to have you all here. I am Darkman78 again, if you are not aware, and I'd love to introduce my two commentators. They're going to be helping kick things off. Cosmic and Takade, welcome.
Hey, I'm Cosmic. Glad to be here.
And Takade, I'm sure, is there. Probably just waiting for this race to get going. But yeah, Cosmic, if you want to go ahead and introduce our first two competitors and our first category, excuse me, as we kind of get ready to get this thing started.
Sure. So we have Supersonic and Xerox Fiend racing here. They're going to be racing the Warpless 8-4 category as Mario. Unlike the very first Super Mario Bros., Mario and Luigi actually do have different physics in this game. This is where it all started. Luigi got his higher jumps and his slipperiness, but this first race, they're going to be both playing as Mario, and Supersonic and Xerox Fiend are both really strong competitors, so it should be a super good race.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's having a couple technical difficulties with Takade, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're almost ready to go, just making sure our competitors are ready. It's going to be a pretty exciting time. Just waiting to switch over to the race feed. But yeah, Cosmic, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Just like Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels as a game?
This game, if I have any regret in speedrunning, it's that I didn't start speedrunning this game sooner, because I don't know, it kind of takes everything I love about speedrunning the first Super Mario Bros. And just amps it right up. Like, it's just perfect.
All right, I think we got the technical difficulties figured out on my end.
Awesome. All right, and Takade's here, and we are underway. So we are getting things started with the Warpless 8-4 category. So, fellas, take.
Sweet. So it looks like they're on their way. Unfortunately, in this game, 1-1, I think, is one of the hardest levels in the run. So if they both get through this level, they're having an excellent start.
Exactly, and we see neither of them opting for the safety star, which will help you get through this level a little bit easier. But thankfully, no problems for either runner in 1-1. And you're definitely right. I think 1-1 is one of the levels where I know, at least personally, I reset the most. It's definitely a challenging run, a challenging level with a lot of tight jumps.
Yeah, I definitely game overed in 1-1 in a race before.
Wow.
So they're doing way better than me.
Yeah, there we go. So 1-2 is interesting because this is the warpless category. We will not see them go up top towards the warp zone. Now, of course, they will go up top to just make the beginning a little bit easier instead of taking this bottom route here, which is doable, but much more challenging. But then instead of warping, they'll take a pipe to go to the staircase to go on to 1-3.
Speaking of 1-3, that's the level they're probably going to pick up a power up here. You want to grab the fire flower, not only because it will make the run a lot easier, having fire to clear piranha plants and enemies out of the way, but when you get to Bowser at the end of each castle stage, you want to kill him with fireballs, because then you don't have to watch the animation of him falling in the lava.
Absolutely. So also, I believe both of these runners, and we see them grabbing the mushroom here. A couple of different strategies there to grab the mushroom, but they both get through cleanly with the mushroom. I believe we're going to see both of them going for what's called the small fire Mario glitch. Cosmic, do you want to explain that a little bit?
It's a pretty interesting glitch. What happens is if you touch the X that kills Bowser and Bowser at the same time, you'll take damage, but it won't actually make Mario shrink as though he's taken damage, and puts the game in kind of a weird state where it thinks you're small Mario, but you're not. So the next couple power-ups you get will actually end up shrinking Mario, and then you get the fire flower, and it turns him into small fire Mario. So you have the advantage of being small Mario, but with the fireball powers.
So we see Xerox did get the glitch. I couldn't tell with the iframes on Supersonic's side if he got the glitch or not. I guess we'll be able to tell in the next level. But Xerox, I definitely saw his Mario flashing, which means he did hit the axe and he hit Bowser at the same time.
And there's a power-up right at the start of this level. We'll see them get. Looks like Supersonic did not get the small fire Mario, so he's big fire, and then we can see we'll get a difference in route. Even in a pretty linear game, you get to see some differences.
Absolutely, and so Xerox, he grabs a mushroom, which normally would turn him big, but this mushroom turns him small because of the glitch state that he is in, and now he grabs a star and a fire flower back to back, so he is now in his small fire Mario state. So this is just super advantageous because you have the small hitbox of Mario, and you also have the fire flower for the fire power. So this is definitely the state that is probably easiest to be in terms of running this category.
Right, and it looks like Supersonic got hit somewhere, so he's gonna... Ooh, he's taking some really nice pipe jumps right there. Very hard to do. That's one of the reasons Fire Flower makes the run a lot easier and also faster.
Definitely, and those pipe jumps are just a couple frame window, and they're pretty difficult. So nicely done by Supersonic there. He's also going to grab another power up here in 2-2, so he'll be fully back into Fire Flower state.
A nice game knowledge. Did not know about that one.
Learn something new every day. So we see Xerox is through 2-2. Supersonic a little bit behind just because he did have to power up again after taking that hit. But this game and this category is just so hectic that we'll probably see the lead. I would guess we could see the lead change hands a few times during this run.
Yeah, easily. This game, it is merciless, especially as we get into the later stages. And right there you can see an example of why Xerox goes in the pit after having a horrible cheat pattern. Lost levels starting to show you. Throughout today, you'll see why this game has a reputation.
Yeah, definitely one of, if not the hardest 2D Mario platformers there is. Just a brutal game, a brutal run, but it's super fun as well because of the challenges that it presents. So now we're going to head into the second castle level, 2-4. And we'll see if Xerox, he's of course not going to be able to power up here, I believe. So he's going to have to touch the axe and kill Bowser that way. Oh, there's a power up here. See, I learned something new as well.
In Supersonic's side, you did see him get a ceiling clip, which is something cool you can do when you're Big Fire Mario. And hopefully we'll see a few more of those from him. They just save, like half a second, a couple seconds here and there.
And we saw a little bit difference there. So Supersonic got to fire kill Bowser, whereas Xerox Fiend, he had to touch the axe. And that actually is very important because if you fire kill Bowser, once you touch the axe, you just immediately go over to Toad. Whereas if you touch the axe without killing Bowser, without fire killing Bowser, there's a cutscene where the bridge collapses and then Bowser falls into the lava, and that wastes like 3 seconds. So it is faster to fire kill Bowser. People often ask, why do you stop and fire kill Bowser? Well, that's exactly the reason, because we're trying to prevent this like 3-second cutscene, which actually slows the run down.
Right. And then Xerox is about to get 3 fireworks right here. The way fireworks go off on this game is pretty interesting. It's different than the first Super Mario Bros. It has to do with your coin count and the time that you finish a level on. So if the ones digit of your coins and your time match, then it'll make fireworks go off. For example, Xerox Fiend got 37 coins, and then the time remaining ended in a 7, and those two matched, so it made fireworks happen.
Yeah, and you'll get you get 3 fireworks for an odd number and 6 for an even number, I believe. And now we're heading into our first swimming level. We see Xerox is taking a hit. These swimming levels are just totally treacherous. There's coral and walls placed in weird spots, just numerous enemies, and we see Xerox Fiend take a death there. These swimming levels make SMB1 swimming levels look like a piece of cake.
Yeah. Enemies in them, and the enemies actually, the AI is like a little bit harder than the first game. They did everything they could to make this just a real challenge to get through.
Ooh, nice dodging by Xerox Fiend there. As I say that, also Supersonic takes a hit in 3-3. So he'll have some power-ups to recover as he does grab a mushroom right there. And Xerox Fiend, and as I say that, Supersonic takes another hit. So this level has just been very difficult for Supersonic. And now Xerox Fiend heads into 3-3 as well. He is on his last life, so Xerox Fiend will need to be careful. If he takes a game over, he'll have to use the continue. It's not a continue code. There's just a continue that you option that you have in this game. Whereas in SMB1, there's kind of a hidden continue code. But here, you'd have to continue, and that would start you at the beginning of World 3, so 3-1 again.
Yeah, he definitely at least wants to get to World 4 before losing this last life. Hopefully he doesn't lose it at all, but, sometimes if people have only 1 life left, they'll get to the very beginning of a world and then game over on purpose to get 3 lives back.
Oh, and we see Supersonic taking a slip there. This 3-4, yeah, because this is a maze level, and these maze levels have trigger points where you have to pass the, when Mario crosses the X position, he has to be at a certain Y position as well, and so you need to be at the top there. So we saw Supersonic fall down, so you had to get all the way back to the top to trigger the maze checkpoint there.
I'm pretty impressed that he didn't die. That was a crazy situation.
All right, so now we are into World 4. This is also part of the any percent run, so these levels are very comfortable for our speedrunners here, and we'll see if Xerox Fiend intentionally takes a game over so that he can take this continue and refill his lives in 4-1. And looks like he's doing just that. So that's a smart race move by Xerox Fiend to take the game over, and that way he just loses a few seconds rather than game overing like in 4-3 or 4-4 and having to go all the way back to 4-1.
Right, for sure. Yeah, so that's how the continue works in this game. I do see someone asking how the continue code worked in SMB1, and what you had to do is when it game overed and sent you back to the title screen, you had to hold A and then push start, and that would continue like in this game back to this first level of the world you'd game overed on.
And that's interesting because when I was a kid, I didn't know that continue code, so I would have loved to have had that when I was a kid. But in this game, it makes it much more clear just having that continue option. And there are unlimited continues; you can continue as many times as you need to. So now both runners in 4-2, we see Supersonic completing it, Xerox Fiend just starting it. This should be, for the most part, a straightforward level. Even in the any percent run, when you're just small Mario, it's a very straightforward level. So 4-3 will be the next level where things can get a little tricky with these bullet bills that'll be firing essentially at random for these guys, because the bullet bill height and patterns are determined by the frame at which you get there. And we see Supersonic gets a low one, but he gets a super bounce off of the bullet bill. That's one of the new physics in this game compared to SMB1 as well. So why don't you talk about the super bounce?
Yeah, it's in general, you bounce higher off enemies in this game, but there's a certain mechanic where if you bounce off an enemy while moving upwards, you just launch like clear to the top of the screen. And that can be used to save time in a couple places, like 5-1 coming up. Hopefully we see another one of those.
And we'll see if Supersonic gets the wall clip there. He does, the ceiling clip, I should say, and very nicely done in 4-4 to get that ceiling clip. Xerox Fiend heading into that 4-3 treacherous level as well. We'll see what kind of bullet bills he gets.
Really tough fireball pattern for Supersonic. He slows down trying to dodge it, but doesn't quite get out of the way.
And the bullet bills cooperate for Xerox, but he shorts the jump in 4-3, and he'll have to go back to the checkpoint in 4-3.
Yeah, you're all nervous about where these bullet bills are, and that jump right there. Oh, he gets the worst luck on that bullet bill, and that is a game over. So he's back to the start of World 4.
And that, unfortunately, is the treachery of lost levels. This can happen to any runner. Doesn't matter who you are. Those kinds of things can happen. That jump under that bullet bill would be a 1-frame jump, and sometimes if you have changed the bullet bill patterns a little bit just by like speeding up or slowing down, it could even be a impossible jump to make, and you just have to slow down if you had done some things earlier in the level. But there for Xerox Fiend, that was a 1-frame window to clear that.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not an easy jump. You only have 3 frames, but man, he only had 1 there. That was so hard.
Yeah, and Supersonic went for the super jump here in 5-1. He didn't get it, so he had to reveal those hidden coin blocks to climb to the top and finish 5-1. We'll see when Xerox Fiend gets into World 5 if he is able to get the super jump. I know he's very good at the super jump, so hopefully he'll be able to nail that when he gets into 5-1. Supersonic now heading into 5-2. This is where the route, again, deviates from the any percent route. In any percent, you're going to see people do... Oh, and we're going to watch Supersonic actually do a cool thing here. He's doing what's called the Devil's Spell. So he's going to try to clip into this pipe and warp into this pipe and reload his power-ups. There we go. So that took him back to the beginning of the level. Yeah.
This game introduced the upside down pipes, and you actually, if you get inside the pipes, can go down them just like you would a straight up and down pipe. So, and it's kind of glitchy. You're not supposed to go in them. So the places that the game sends you are sometimes glitchy locations.
And he's going to do it here. Oh no, and he takes a death going for the other devil spell. That devil spell is one that you don't have to go for. You could just go into that pipe that was next to it. But he was trying to have a little bit of fun with it. Unfortunately, it spat him down into the hole there. So I suspect we'll see him. Yeah, and he does take the normal pipe route this time. Meanwhile, Xerox Fiend in 4-3 this time got through cleanly. He actually got a cool little different route where he bounced off a bullet bill to the top side, so he didn't have to deal with that super impossible, not impossible, but super tough build that he had to deal with last time. And he finally gets through 4-4 very nicely, takes a hit there, but as Big Fire Mario, that's definitely a tough spot there. So we also saw Supersonic take a hit there. Now Xerox Fiend is into World 5 as well, and we'll see if he gets the super jump in 5-1.
Some really horrible bullet bills in this stage, potentially. Oh, Supersonic gets just about the toughest one you can right there. And just... he tries to go under it, doesn't quite make the jump.
Can I just say how courageous you all are for actually wanting to run this in a live marathon setting, because this is actually incredible.
Yeah, this game's kind of insane.
This is crazy insane, and especially when you're in small Mario state, you can not afford a bad bill or anything like that. Xerox Fiend, almost gets the super jump, but he gets a nice coin block climb. So neither runner getting the super jump, but not needed. It's just a little bit faster than doing the coin block climb. And as I was mentioning in 5-2, this is where the run diverges from the any percent run. So instead of warping, into World 8 by either climbing a vine or doing another pipe clip, these guys just go straight through 5-2. And Supersonic with a death in 5-4. Cosmic, you want to talk a little bit about 5-4?
Yeah, this, a lot of the castle stages in this game are actually just insane, but this one is so hard. There's so many fire bars and potaboos. It's so hard to get through here without getting a hit, and Supersonic made a good decision to grab that mushroom, because he only has 1 life left, and if he game overed, he would go back to the start of World 5.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to game over in World 5. That's a tough situation there. So I suspect we'll see him intentionally game over in 6-1. I don't know for sure. Obviously, we saw Xerox Fiend do the similar in 4-1 where he intentionally game overed. But that'll allow Xerox Fiend to close the gap back up, because it should waste a little bit more time for Supersonic. And we'll see these guys. Oh, no. And as I say that, Xerox Fiend takes a death. But to say, we'll see these guys close back up a little bit. And Supersonic does indeed take the intentional game over.
I think it's kind of... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we had a popular question asked a few times. Does it make any difference, where they grab the flag at the end of the level?
Yeah, so actually, unintuitive, but grabbing the top of the flag is actually the fastest. No matter where you grab it, you're going to have to wait for the flag to come down, so grabbing the bottom isn't going to skip any kind of flag animation. But if you grab the top, Mario actually kind of jumps off the flagpole better to get over to the castle a little bit faster. So that is the answer.
Ooh, and Xerox Fiend just avoiding that piranha plant there. He's on his last life as well, so it would be really great for him to get through 5-3 and 5-4 cleanly, just because then otherwise he would have to go back to 5-1 again. So hopefully he doesn't get any bad bills here. Obviously, as Small Mario, and we saw Supersonic get one of the bad bills, that would be very, very troublesome for Xerox Fiend.
I was going to say, whenever we're commentating SMB1, you usually hear, oh, the game gets a lot harder in the second half. that difficulty ramps up. And if you can believe it, that's true for this game too.
Oh no.
If the first half didn't look hard enough, it's only getting harder, so still anyone's race, a lot can happen.
Xerox Fiend making nice work of 5-4 so far, which, again, very important because he can't take the game over here if he wants to, not have to play World 5 over again. And he makes it to the axe in 5-4. Thank goodness, because now he can take that intentional game over in 6-1 like Supersonic did.
On Supersonic's screen, we have another one of those flying cheap levels. He's probably going to stop for the power-ups here, and it's really hard to avoid these cheap while you're trying to grab the power-ups.
Yeah, and there's the intentional game over from Xerox Fiend. Supersonic now grabbing the Fire Flower, so he's in a comfortable state. Xerox Fiend at least is refilled in lives, so he's in a comfortable state there with lives, and so hopefully these runners will be able to avoid major calamity at this point.
Oh, this Hammer Bro is so rude when he gets in the way. There's nothing you can do about it without being super risky.
And 6-4.
Supersonic doing an interesting thing. This is another maze level, and he ran on the bottom route at the beginning and then turned around. So he was actually just activating like the maze checkpoint and then getting out of the way of the fire bar a little bit faster.
And I was wondering if he was going to go for this firebar skip strategy, and he didn't quite get it. It looked like he may have tried to go for it there. Oh no, and he takes a death. That jump is super tight as well off that platform to that ledge there. But there is a little bit of a skip you can do on that gigantic firebar. Not this first gigantic firebar, but the next one, where if you set it up correctly, Mario will be able to run past the firebar before it swings around to hit him. And it saves a good chunk of time. I forget how much, like 2.5 seconds or something like that. And this time he does get the skip there. So nicely done by Supersonic.
Yeah, beautiful 6-4 this time around.
And Xerox Fiend is in 6-2. Cosmic 6-2 and 3-2, both the swimming levels. In your opinion, which one is harder?
I think actually 3-2 is like harder in general, but there's just a couple spots in 6-2 that are harder than 3-2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like 6-2 overall, I think, is a little easier, but there's just a couple spots that are horrible.
Yeah, absolutely treacherous. And we see Supersonic toying a little bit with the wind there. You want to explain what happened there, Cosmic?
It's like the game's pushing you with the wind, and if you tap left a certain way, you can clip through it. And he gets past the Koopa and the Hammer Bro as Small Mario. That's insane.
That was insane.
I can't believe he went for
incredible. And Xerox Fiend powering up in 6-3. Gets a nice power-up grab and kills a Cheep in the process by stomping on it. If you're moving downwards, and he takes a hit here, but if you're moving downwards, if Mario's moving downwards, he'll win the collision with enemies. Even if it looks like he hits them from kind of underneath, as long as you let go of the A button, you start moving downward when you collide with an enemy, you'll actually win that collision. So we'll get to see potentially some of that from some of the underrunners later on in this marathon as well.
Oh, Lakitu being super rude to Supersonic. He really does not want to die here at the end of 7-2 because there's no midway checkpoint in this level.
Just gets up on that platform there.
Yeah.
Xerox Fiend taking this end platform safely, which I think is a wise decision. We saw Supersonic short that jump by like just a pixel there. So Xerox Fiend just waited for the platform to swing back to the right. Now we're in World 7 for both of these runners. Supersonic in 7-3 with maybe one of the most annoying levels in the speedrun.
Yeah, pretty infamous. Making lots of top 10 hardest Mario level lists. There's like these green springs that send you clear over the top of the screen, and they're the only way to get through this level. And there's the wind, which the physics with the wind are actually really hard to manage. And to top it all off, the ending platforming is super difficult too, but Supersonic made it through really well.
Yeah, 319. I think 320 is pretty much, or 321 is about as optimal as you can get there. So really nicely done by Supersonic. He also, interestingly, has 44 coins. I don't know if that'll come into play in World 8 if he were to manage, again, an even number coin count there, or sorry, a multiple of 11 coin count. One cool thing that you can do in this game, we talked about the fireworks, but if you do that with a multiple of 11 when you hit the flagpole and then have the ones digit of the timer match the ones digit of the coin count, you'll also get a 1-up, and that is good for races because then, just one extra life before needing to game over.
Yeah, he actually went ahead and got a 1-up with the Buzzy Beetles in this level. They kind of lined them up so you can kick a shell and kill them all for a 1-up. 2 lives, maybe not enough in this game at times, so he could go for the 4 in 8-1 to get another 1-up.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Xerox Fiend now heading into 7-3 as Big Mario with fire. So 3 lives. He's in a comfortable position here. And he's heading into this spring and wind level. And we see Supersonic going for a really cool trick here. Cosmic, explain what's going on.
This is another one of those going in the upside down pipe tricks. This one's really tricky to get the clip because the pipe is up so high, but he just did it, and it actually takes you like halfway through the level. Oh, the Hammer Bro is so nasty on this one if you don't have fire. We'll see if he goes for it again, but basically, because you're not supposed to go in that pipe, it sends you... Okay, basically the way the game decides where to send you when you go into a pipe or any kind of loading zone is based on, like, you've been in.
He's just getting trolled by these Hammer Bros.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. Right again.
And that's...
Okay,
yeah, that's allowing Xerox
over.
Fiend to catch right up. We could have a super tight race here at the end, especially if Xerox is able to maintain this firepower. He won't have to worry about the Hammer Bros in 8-1 because he can just fire them out of the way.
8-1 is so hard. Like we said, it's always anyone's game.
And this is exactly what we're talking about here, folks. This is just Lost Levels at its finest, or at its worst, depending on your opinion of what's going on here.
Yeah. We'll see if ends up going for that wrong work, because he has Fire Flower. He can get that Hammer Bro out of the way if he goes for it.
So well done by
the reason
Fiend. Go ahead.
The reason it sends you somewhere weird is because the game just where to send you based on how much of the what part of the level you're in when you go in a pipe, and because he goes in somewhere he's not supposed to, it sends him somewhere that it shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. And so Supersonic actually ended up powering up in 8-1. Wise decision, I think, after those deaths that he took earlier. So now he's in a pretty comfortable state. Xerox Fiend powering through 8-1, hot on his heels. See, and he gets to fire the Hammer Bro right out of the way there. This is a very, very close race all of a sudden. And one slip up, one death could ruin it. And right here we see Supersonic get a double bounce off of that Koopa to land on that single block and then climb the vine. Well done from Supersonic there. That's one of the things you need to do in this, not necessarily in the Warpless run to get a world record because there's still a lot of time, but in any percent, you absolutely have to get that double bounce to have a chance at a world record. Xerox Fiend not getting the double bounce, but still hot on Supersonic's heels. One slip up here, and it is, again, anybody's game. So, just super close here. 8-3, there's going to be these hidden blocks at the end here that you're going to watch Supersonic jump on. Oh, he takes a hit. This will really close things up. Supersonic now going into 8-4. There's a crazy tight jump at the beginning of 8-4. So this is not over. This is incredibly close, you guys. Supersonic has to hit this crazy jump at the beginning of 8-4.
He hits it. That's way tighter than it looks. Slows down on the Podoboo, good decision. And pretty much every room in this level is pretty difficult. So, especially the second to last room, that's a spot that could go on at any time.
Definitely. And Xerox Fiend now into 8-4. Supersonic in the G room. We like that little shape there. It looks like a G. Xerox Fiend into the opening room. Nicely done. Got the opening jump. Avoided the Potaboo. Supersonic now heading into this super long hallway here. This actually is a maze room as well. There is a vertical checkpoint there as well. And then there's this crazy jump here at the end. We'll see if he plays it safe. He does play it safe.
Oh, nicely done.
He's going to grab the safety mushroom, and you'll see him clip through the floor in the next room. So we're in the final room. Everybody say hi to Bruce. This is Bruce. This is Bowser's brother here. Hi, Bruce. See you, Bruce. What a pal.
He's coming up on Bowser. Time will stop right when he grabs
Oh,
the
he
bag.
gets the clip.
Nice.
I love it.
The pure swag clip.
And
Gets
time for
bags.
Supersonic. Looked about a 27:34. Xerox Fiend, meanwhile. Hello, Bruce. See you, Bruce.
Such a nice clip. That clip, you just have to be Big Mario and you just run off the edge and you'll clip in the ground.
And
And
Xerox
time for
Fiend
Zero.
through. Wow,
Super close
27:51.
race.
What
With
a
all
really
that
good
happened,
race.
it's pretty amazing that they finished, 17 seconds apart?
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy. 17, 18, yeah.
just a fantastic run from both of these guys, showing off some cool swags, showing off some tricks. Also, getting trolled a lot. That's just the nature of this 8-4 run. And in the end, 18 seconds apart. Get your GGs out in chat, everybody. Two fantastic runners here, showing off some very cool skills.
Awesome. So that was a pretty good start to this wonderful day of Lost Levels. So we're going to go ahead and take a really quick break and go ahead and set up for the next one, which is going to be the same category, but with Luigi. So you're going to see a few different things in the next run. So stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. All right, everybody, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix, where we're in the middle of the Lost Level Showcase. And we have the Warpless 8-4 Luigi category. It's going to be a solo run by Goofy Chocobo. And our commentators joining Takade will be Big John for today. So hello, folks. Welcome.
What's up, everyone? And Takate, what's up, man?
Not too much. We just watched two fantastic runners, Supersonic and Xerox Fiend, race this 8-4 Warpless category as Mario. Now we get to see the Green Bro. I know, Big John, you are a Green Bro aficionado. Why don't you explain a little bit about the difference between Red Bro and Green Bro?
Well, most importantly, Luigi is just superior in every possible way. That's the first thing that everybody needs to know about that. But of course, most noticeably, Luigi got the big jump. You know, Luigi can jump about a block and a half higher than his red brother. So that's a good thing. Of course, with that comes a negative, which is his slipperiness. It does take Luigi a little bit more time to slow down from a fully running speed. So if you're trying to, slow down before you run into an enemy, you might want to think about what you're doing here. But those are the main two that you're going to deal with. Of course, maybe we have a little bit higher super jumps too, if we ever get a glimpse of those. But other than that, Luigi's green.
Exactly. So, and the nice thing about having that super high jump, as you mentioned, it's some of these tighter jumps with Mario, they become a lot easier to clear with Luigi just because he gets that extra distance as well. Goofy Chocobo already threw 1-1 very cleanly. He didn't take the safety star or anything like that, just powering on through like the champ that he is.
Yeah, this is it's really cool because it's been a long time since you have seen I would say warpless Luigi featured on GDQ's channel. And Goofy, in fact, I think back when I was running this game, Goofy wasn't. I don't think he was playing yet. Of course, Goofy has taken the world record in this thing, and it's a really fun category. I mean, 8-4 warpless in any Lost Levels variant is going to be a challenge. It's Reset City. It's quite the challenge here, and of course, Goofy just showing you all how simplistic this game really is. Don't be scared.
Exactly.
It's better than playing Super Expert on Mario Maker. I mean, for sure. So.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Goofy Chocobo holds the world record in this category with a 23-minute and 9-second run. So that's just a very, very solid time there, obviously being the world record. We'll watch him grab the power up here in 1-3. I don't know if we're going to see any small fire Luigi strats or anything like that, but I think he might be going big fire Luigi. But guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, from a time standpoint, it is obviously a little bit quicker to just, obviously big fire and just hope that you don't never take any damage anywhere. But it's lost levels, and it's pretty rare to do a complete lost levels run and not take any damage. Maybe if you were, say, small Mario, because obviously in lost levels, as you'll see throughout the day, a lot of these latter levels definitely favor the smaller character. And
Most
of course,
definitely.
looks like he's actually going to go for small fire Luigi. So that's a rare tweet. A tweet, not tweet. Was it treat? That's the word. Yeah.
Treats.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, there we go. So he does get the glitch there. So now he's in a glitched state where he looks like Big Mario and he has the Big Mario hitbox. But if he takes one hit, he dies because the game thinks he's small Mario in terms of his power-up state. So you're going to watch him grab this mushroom and then turn into small Luigi, but small, powerful Luigi. Then he grabs the star so he doesn't have to make these pipe jumps here. He can just stomp on the Piranha Plant's heads there and get them out of the way with the star power. And now he grabs the fire. So he is small fire Luigi.
Yeah, this is about as best it goes right here. And of course, again, like you saw in the previous race, having that small hitbox, even though ironically, Luigi does not actually have a quote fire sprite when he's small. And of course, you see the imposter taking over apparently.
Yeah, and Goofy Chocobo celebrating this run with a little bit of fireworks. So if you missed the first race, we explained the fireworks. We'll explain them here again. And the way fireworks in this game is if you look at the ones digit of your coin count, so right now, Goofy Chocobo has 16. He had 13 at the end of the previous level. And then you look at the ones digit of the timer when you touch the flagpole in the flagpole levels. If those match up, you'll get fireworks. And if it's an odd number in the coin count and timer, you'll get 3 fireworks. If it's an even number, you'll get 6 fireworks. So Goofy Chocobo got 3 fireworks there. It costs him about a second and a half. 3 fireworks be closer to about 6 fireworks be closer to about a 3-second time loss.
And they say coins don't matter in Mario games. Hey, it can ruin runs here, and and especially because the thing about lost levels is that we're still in 8-bit world. So similarly to say Mario 1, there are still frame rules in play here. The levels always start in the same increment of time, just like Mario 1 does. Now, of course, this game, thank God, is nowhere near as optimal and optimized as Mario 1 is, where we know exactly literally almost every pattern. Now, of course, when you play consistently, you kind of know those patterns because you kind of see the same things over. But any kind of thing like, a death or fireworks can obviously change that frame rule and put you on an unpredictable pattern coming up next, unless you usually, mess up in the first place. So that's still in play. That's definitely still in play.
Definitely. And Goofy Chocobo into 2-4 now, our second castle level. One of the easier castle levels in this speedrun. I wouldn't say any of these are necessarily easy, but certainly this is on the easier side of things. And they just kind of tend to ramp up in difficulty as we go through this run.
Yeah, and it's really cool today because since for today you're going to see, Famicom versions as well as the SNES version. It's kind of cool because as we'll see later on in our treacherous 5-4, those pootaboos, those fireballs that come out the lava, they go a lot lower overall in this game than they do on the SNES version. In some areas, that's a good thing. In some areas, it's horrendous because they're right in your jump path, and it's very easy to get hit on some of those castles.
Absolutely, and we will be seeing SNES runs later in the marathon. So the culminating in the big finale of the D4 Warpless run, that's going to be an awesome run with both Luigi and Mario back to back there. I know you're participating in the Luigi version of that. Speaking of Luigi, small fire Luigi heading into our first swim level 3-2.
I am not a fan of any water level in 2D Marios. I never have and I never will be. But again, with that reduced hitbox, half the chance of getting hit, eh? And you still can obviously buy all these cheap and bloopers when need be. It's not too much of an issue here, These characters basically play almost identically in the water anyway. Don't worry about any jumping or slipperiness. So just be careful of, getting sucked down or the occasional, really, really bad pattern where the cheap kind of just team up on you. You can almost have 5 or 6 enemies at the same time. It can be really, really nasty. So
Yeah, and the way the whirlpools work in this game is a little bit different than in SMB1. You can pretty much predict that if there's a pit in SMB1, there will be in the water, I should say, there will be a whirlpool. But in this, there's like sometimes there's whirlpools where there's no pits even, and it can be pretty treacherous the way you get sucked either to the left or to the right or down in these water levels. But Goofy Chocobo with a really clean run so far. Hasn't taken a hit. I hope I'm not commentator cursing him, but very strong run through 3-3 so far.
Maybe he's one of the people who are still actively playing this game. I don't know, but I don't know how much he's been playing Lost Levels, but it's definitely whatever. He's on point right now. Damageless, still got small fire, and again, nice little free levels as you can see with Luigi. You can, not jump just as much as you would in Mario. I think I like that, man, because jumping a whole lot. Sometimes Lost Levels can take your input away from you. On jumps when you really don't want it to.
Yeah, absolutely. And Goofy Chocobo, I should say, is one of the most just consistent runners out there. He, in SMB1 warpless races, he always puts up, 1920s and 1930s just consistently. And we're seeing another nice, strong, consistent run from him here through World 3 without taking a single hit. That's already a big accomplishment for Goofy Chocobo. And now he's going to be heading into World 4, which would be pretty comfortable for him because, again, as we mentioned in the Mario race, World 4 is part of the any percent run. So he'll have run this as any percent. Now he gets to run it in warpless, but with firepower as well.
Yeah. Basically what Takate is saying is this is the best run of the event so far. It all goes downhill from here. So enjoy the good stuff while you got it. And, yeah, I think it feels like almost every person who plays Lost Levels runs like at least one of the 80% categories, and between the Famicom or the SNES versions, just I don't know, is it like a requirement or something? I feel like a lot of runners start off of an 80% category just to kind of get a little taste before they go to the the full package deal per se.
Yep, for sure. So Goofy Chocobo going into 4-2, one of the easiest levels in the game, I'd say. You just run right through and just make sure you jump and avoid the enemies. Lakitu is not a worry. You just run through. His spinies won't hit you or anything like that.
Yeah, I've always said that World 4 in Lost Levels almost kind of feels like World 4 in Mario 1, where it's kind of a cakewalk generally. Just keep going, not too much of a threat, except for, unfortunately, our 4-4 stage, which can be known to ruin runs in all versions of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And one thing you'll see here in 4-3 is some bullet bills, and they'll be firing at random. But with Luigi, you get to take a little bit of a different route, I believe, because of these bigger jumps that he has. I think Goofy Chocobo will be able to get to the top here. Yeah,
you make this big jump to the 5-coin path, and that takes that last awful Mario route, which you have to worry about the potential of a bad bill, just completely out of play. So, RNG manipulation is fine just by simply jumping.
Yeah, exactly. So 4-4, probably the trickiest part of World 4 right here is just this end to 4-4. You've got like a Potaboo, a 1-block tile to jump on, and then Bowser shooting fire. Very tough section at the end of 4-4.
Yeah, this is one of the things where if you're very, very consistent with your frame rules, you already know where Bowser's going to spawn at. And again, you just got to be careful of this fireball. You'll see in just a moment when he lands in a single block, where will it spawn? Hopefully above him or below, and that's really good. That's about as good as you can ask for. Spawns below, in the block, no threat, and Bowser's gone. So a nice 4-4. Half the game is over right there.
That's right. We are halfway through, and this is the FDS version, so you'll see a little bit of a loading time here between 4-4 and 5-1. So the blank screen here for a little bit, loading, and then we will head into World 5. Halfway through, as you mentioned, I'm going to bow out here, Big John, because I got to prepare for my race next, so I'm going to let you take it from here out.
Who needs practice, man? Get good. All right, man. Good luck to you, Takate.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to Luigi, Mr. Luigi Man himself, Goofy Chocobo, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
All right, thank you very much.
Takate working so hard for you all, commentating and running the game. What a loyal person he is. So again, as we continue, we are heading to our halfway point, going through 5-1. 5-1 is a pretty lengthy level here. Now, we didn't see this last time. Let's see if we can get this super jump on the wall here. And there it is right there. Again, using that new momentum that Lost Levels Famicom introduces as opposed to Mario 1, we can just skip those 2 hidden blocks and just use the boost and the bounce off the Koopa and go right over the wall. And obviously that is the most optimal way, from a time speedrun perspective to just clear that level. So obviously a great thing, Hush Prakate. Alrighty. Moving on to 5-2, another dip into our underground section. And it looks like he took damage there. I think he was trying to get the fireball shot very, very quickly, but he can quickly recover it back here. So, again, he'll have to get another power to restore that state here. And he's going to skip the star here. Oh, I think he took damage there again there. So, he's back into his, quote, kind of small state here. Again, not much threat of his level here, just to end. Just be careful there. Ooh, he's going to go for it. I think he went for it once and said, nah, that's too much. Again, skipping that little devil's spit that I guess wasn't that name from I think that was from Cosmic Devil's Spit there. To obviously skip portion of the level there to save some time there. But it's all good, done halfway through World 5 and moving on to good old 5-3. Now, in case you all missed the first race, 5-3, he's looking for some secret areas, you all. He's a trained professional, he knows what he's doing. So 5-3 is again another one of those levels that does have no checkpoint in it. This level normally, if you don't take that pipe, it basically wraps endlessly until you decide to actually try a different path, And of course, because he's going to take a little chance to not challenge these bullet bills, and here's this jump that we worry about. Oh goodness gracious, that's as bad as it gets.
That's
bullet
just mean.
bill, I'm telling you, 5-3 is just one of those awful levels, man. He's going to take the game over there. That's going to put him back to 5-1 because of that. And again, that's just one of those things that you just have to gamble. In lost levels, it's not to the point where you always know that pattern. The only way you can really manipulate that is to kind of just slow down and let the bills shoot first. So your only threat really will be the blooper. But 5-3 just does it to you. Every lost levels runner knows the sufferings of 5-3. So in case you missed it, we're going to represent the win to you in 5-1. Again, another new element added into the Mario franchise here. They did it first. So you all playing Mario Maker 2 these days? Yeah, we did this back in 86. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick minute to just let everybody know that these GDQ Hotfix broadcasts are funded in part to your support. So if you like what you see, you want to see more of these broadcasts, consider giving us a Twitch Prime sub or a Twitch sub if you wish, or maybe cheering. So anything you give to us really helps us out. So thank you very much.
You all better support now. You better. I'll step on you. Here we go. Born to 5-2, and of course getting that free power up here. And I think he's going to, as well, as you saw. Oh no, he's not going to skip that. He's going to go for the full big fire power-ups here. And again, as you also notice, for some reason, my boy Miyamoto did not give Luigi his own dedicated fire sprite. So again, we have the Mario outfit on again. I'm not too much of a fan of that, but hey, I just have to deal with it.
I thought it was supposed to be a Luigi run. What's going on?
Look now. Maybe we can work on getting a mod of this game and just, get that sprite updated to a green one or something.
Alright, sounds good.
But nevertheless, he may look like Mario, but he still behaves like Luigi, so. Alright. Second chance at 5-3 here. Now, of course, it's a little bit more scary now because he has a bigger hitbox. So you'll probably see him duck jump there, which is usually what I would do, just to kind of, reduce your chance of getting hit in half. So let's see what happens this time. You can fireball this first piranha, no problem. And now the next jump. And looks like he's good. Oh, he shoots the blooper in midair. I'm sure he's glad to get beyond 5-3. So again, just a few of those levels in the game that has no checkpoint, and if you die, you go all the way back to the beginning of the stage here. So here's 5-4 again. 5-4 is not a good level, as you saw previously. Again, he is big, so you'll probably see a lot of duck jumping here. We got to go under these fire bars, over the pootaboos. Oh, he took damage there, unfortunately. So you have to wait it out here. And again, because you have Luigi's, he's more floating there. He has that lofty jump here. So it gives him more hang time to kind of dodge some of these projectiles here. Just need to make sure he doesn't get hit by Bowser or the fireball. And he'll be okay. Easy. Now, one thing about Bowser is, especially in the Famicom version, Bowser's hitbox is actually bigger than what it appears to be. You think you just like hide underneath his mouth, you know, for safety? Nah, bro, it don't work like that. You know, we're in the world of squares and rectangles, so his hitbox kind of extends about 2 pixels in front of his actual design sprite. So you want to stay a little away from him if you can. You don't want to get too close for comfort. And of course, as you can see, he does a magic trick there. Just runs. How does he do this? So what happens there is there's actually a hidden block. You saw it in the previous race. But for some reason, when you're actually coming down into that block, the game doesn't realize that you are actually in it, and you can just go through the wall. It's just a magic trick, you know. I just revealed the secret, so now you all can impress your friends and do it at home. Alrighty, 6-2. One more dip into the water here. At least before we get to our final stage. Now, of course, he's got to be a little more careful now because he has no fire. Now, he does have a nice reduced hitbox, but 6-2, oh boy, he's already bobbing and weaving on the cheeks here. So again, not too much of a threat. Again, you heard Takachi talk about the whirlpools. Generally at the bottom of the screen, when there's a gap, the ground you're attempting to basically get sucked down when you're like one block left and right up the pit. So you're constantly kind of getting pulled down here. As you're trying to dodge. So sometimes you have to kind of plan your evading, especially when there's like a bloop or a cheap in front of your face. They kind of use that momentum to pull you down. Because if you swim upwards, you know, you're kind of just stuck to that, you know, that up and down motion. And it takes a lot of skill now to kind of really get good at your water sticks. They seem pretty easy sometimes, but learning how momentum works in the water definitely does help because it's very easy to take damage. All right, 6 minus 3 equals 3. So the good thing about 6-3 is it's a chance for 2 power-ups. If for some reason you're doing any run of Lost Souls that involves 6-3, 2 free power-ups, but apparently power-ups are overrated as he just runs right back. He's just gonna say, hey, there's one there for you. And I would say the biggest threat here are just the monumental number of cheaps here that can almost buy you nearly to the flagpole. And I think he's through that one. So he's going to probably roll in small Luigi, which I admire because I like playing a small Luigi myself. Fire's overrated. So 6-4. Now, unlike the previous run where you saw them run to the fire bar and run back, because Luigi has that super slipperiness, it's not really optimal to play as him and do that because he just can't slow down in time like Mario can. Really nasty fire bar pattern there. Typically, you don't see the pattern that far forward, but this jump right here is free with Luigi, hence Luigi better the brother. And just walk it back so we don't get stomped on by Bowser toes. And we are done through World 6 here. Again, you saw him maintain his hitbox distance so he doesn't get hit by basically air, from what it seems to us. Can we admire how big Toad is for some reason? I mean, Toad is kind of chunky there.
That's a good Toad right there.
Boy, Toad's on that Balkan. All right, 7-1, another chance of the win. And of course, typically as Luigi, we go over. You know, Luigi can make that jump and not worry about all that piranha issue. And he's going to play it smart and get that star. He has to be careful not to get hit by a cheap. Again, those things could pop up at any moment in time. Now, the main reason you want that star here is because of this upcoming Hammer Brother / Koopa right there. That's very, very unpredictable. And if you're little, you definitely don't want a chance. It can be a nice little time loss in a run. If you got fire, not too much so. Alrighty. So 7-2 is kind of synonymous to what we saw earlier in 5-2, where again, it is a level that you have to take a pipe. Kind of looks familiar, just kind of the dark setting. Now, there is a power-up up there on the top block to the left of the coin there, if you want to grab that. Now, likewise, you gotta be careful in this game because just like in classic Mario, you can despawn platforms. You know, this game does still suffer from things like sprite overload. So if there are too many sprites on the screen, it may cause some things to not load, including enemies. Even the flagpole itself, well, the flag on the flagpole can actually despawn away if there are too many sprites previously loaded. It's kind of cool when it happens. Alrighty, we have another visit to 7-3. Our good old win here. Of course, the most optimal thing here is to go spring to spring. You're going to skip every other spring. and keep going. If for some reason you don't get your momentum like he did, you're going to take that one. And he's going to take a little rest area here. Again, this happens if you don't get your momentum. Now, it's a little bit different as Luigi, because Luigi doesn't get his acceleration as fast as Mario. So sometimes that little backwards jump doesn't work as Luigi because he just simply cannot accelerate fast enough. So he's going to skip over this spring, or I don't think he gets. Maybe he's going to play it safe. Again, you can go pretty far here, and you'll usually fall on top of one of the 2 block wide ones. Jump over the fire bar and off to the flagpole. So again, that is he's getting to the home stretch here. So coming up is 7-4. 7-4 is also known as being one of the treacherous Bowser levels. If for some reason you do not have fire, 7-4 Bowser can be a problem. Again, he's going to get the power up here, which I really can't blame him. That if he can maintain the Bowser, he doesn't have to worry about any of Bowser's pattern. He can just take the damage and get through it. Don't be impressing your friends and go above. Oh my goodness, he missed the jump off. He tried to dug jump, but he didn't quite get enough forward movement, and he kind of just took a squat jump into the pit there. Oh boy, he does not want to do that now. That's another death, and then the last thing he needs now is a level up. Again, if you game over, you're going back to the beginning of World 7 here. Again, we continue to reiterate how challenging Lost Levels is as a speedrun. Shoot, just playing it casually. You know? It's very, very unforgivable. Very, very unforgivable, and it's for a speedrunner, especially top levels, it's Reset City. Some of the silliest things can just bother you so quickly. So he definitely wants to get to Bowser, and it's going to be scary because he's little. He has no power-up, so he may have to take his time on 7-4 Bowser. First of all, we got to get through this middle section. So again, Bowser does 2 fireballs, and here we go. You have a counterclockwise rotating. Oh my goodness, Jesus, hilarious. Man, what is he doing?
My heart dropped very much.
So typically, a lot of times when Bowser's throwing the hammers, at least from what I've seen, as much as I played it, you usually it's like a big pattern of 7 and then like 1 single one. Now, just like Mario 1, sometimes you see the character just jump through a hammer. So there's actually a physical sprite you see, but because of memory issues, there is no hitbox tied to it, so you can literally go through hammers. And I think he just chanced it, and it looks really impressive when he gets it. I tell you that. But for God's sake, don't do that again. So here we go, 7-1. He gets the casual wall jump, which is typically a lot of us. I'm gonna tell you what. It is so easy to casually do wall jumps in this game because I think as a Mario player, you're so naturally ready to just jump when you think you're about to die. And hey, next thing you know, you learned a perfect frame, perfect input, and you just swagged it out. So 8-1 is very, very stupid of a level, but he gets through it with a little swag on top of it.
My emotions have been running very. It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, if any of y'all suffer from hypertension, you may not want to watch the stream right now. Just watch it in like spurts, 20 minutes at a time or something. Trust me, as a runner of the game, it doesn't feel much better on that side either, I'm telling you. So 8-2 is a trolley level, actually. There's actually a hidden star here, which actually will prevent you from actually clearing this level, which you'll see a little earlier. But again, if you keep going to the right, there's actually a pipe. You get a lot of coins, thinking you're doing something good, and all of a sudden that level loops itself. Again, you have to take this route out, otherwise you'll be playing the same stage over and over. So going to our aerial portion, we have 8-3. Again, 8-3 does have our last instance of our Lacquer 2. Again, Lost Levels rewards players who just keep moving. Slowing down Lost Levels is where things go bad. So just keep moving. You're better off that way, I'm telling you. Now, Luigi can just jump over that. He's going to take that damage again, running off the 2 hidden blocks there. It's not a magic trick, but there's actually 2 bricks there that, unfortunately, they basically match the background of that little castle. They actually have poison mushrooms in them if you hit them. Bad mushrooms. See, again, something you see in Mario Maker 2, but hey, we did it first here. So our last stage here, getting that nice little pixel jump off the beginning. Again, very, very dangerous jump. You want to play it safe, just kind of fall below. Swimming through our water section. Again, not too much of an issue here. turnabout room is coming up again. What I recommend, just jump to the wall and then press left. Now that jump is kind of interesting. You have to actually hit the wall first, the right edge, and then press left, and you'll land it. It works both as Mario and Luigi. Again, that room is a puzzle room where he jumped over that fire bar. You have to have your vertical position and run across that bottom gap. If you're over too high, you have to loop it. So again, he's going to swag it out as true Luigi in his full green state and none of that red mess. And just like you saw, you can cheese it just as easily just by walking off and goodbye to Bruce number 2. And it's easy now. You can take a damage and see, hey, do it damage this, jump and miss it. Oh, can't nobody get that jump today. And that's time right there for you. That is time for Goofy Chocobo nailing that run in just under 27:30. And again, another fantastic demonstration of how challenging and how good these players are to get through this in one sitting. 27:30 is Luigi. GG's in chat for my man Goofy Chocobo. Make sure you haven't already given him a follow, man. He's really good at just this and a lot of 2D Mario 1 as well. Very good stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's a great run. It was a roller coaster, but we ended on a high note, so that's always good. So yeah, great job to Goofy Chocobo. Thank you, Big John, for the commentary.
No problem.
And we will see you later. So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a longer break as we get set up for the next race. This is going to be a 3-person race, an any percent 8-4 race featuring Mario. So stick around. We're going to run a quick ad and take a little break, and we'll be back shortly. All right, everybody, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. Glad to have you all here in the middle of this awesome Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels showcase. I'm Darkman78, and we have a 3-way race today for our third game, or third category, I should say. This is the any percent 8-4 category featuring Mario. A little bit of a shorter one, but it's going to be pretty sweet with 3 competitors. So we have GTAce 99, Cosmic, and Takate all racing. And joined by me today for commentary is going to be Ethan and Supersonic. So welcome.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Ethan.
I'm Supersonic, the guy you saw earlier.
That's right. Victor, by the way, the first race. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, GG's. Dude, this is going to be a really fun one.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me all about Mario and any percent.
Well, any percent's a very chaotic category because any, like 4-3, 4, 8-1, all the levels with RNG will probably kill you if you're too fast about it. So you're going to see like really good reaction times or just awareness of all the RNG and all the possibilities. So it's going to be cool to watch these runners deal with all the difficulties of it.
And we're off, so all 3 of them into 1-1, and as Cosmic mentioned, like in the earlier race, he did die in Game Over in 1-1 a couple years ago in a race, so thankfully he actually does get through just fine this time. So
nice.
He gets that out of the way. Everybody gets through 1-1 fairly well, so this is a good start for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure this is one of the levels they practice the most before the event.
Yeah, 1-1 is definitely like one of the hardest levels in the game, especially for starting off. So, one big giant hurdle down, now heading into 1-2.
And they might go for a wall jump, probably not. It looks like Takate might be going for it. I think he held right the whole time.
Yeah, so there's a setup you can do where if you hold right the entire way of the level, you can actually get, I believe it's a 2-frame window to get the wall jump. Looks like did Cosmic go for it? I didn't quite catch that.
No, he jumped on the platform a little early, but all going into the warp zone pretty well.
Okay, so all of them took it safe. Oh, it looks like GTAce is grabbing the mushroom in 1-2.
Nice. And he did the trick where if you grab a mushroom and you're not holding jump, and then you grab the mushroom and you hold jump, you get an additional jump.
Yeah, so we call that a jump buffer.
Wait, what did Takate go for? Oh, bummer, I missed that.
Oh no, so he has to start all the way back in 1-2 because there isn't really a checkpoint when you enter the second area where the warp zone is. So the game just pretty much sends you back to the beginning of the level, so that's really unfortunate for Takate there.
But GTA's got the Fire Flower in such a stylish way. That was really nice.
So we're going to see a Fire Mario run from GTA while Cosmic remains small. It's going to be heading into 4-2.
I mean, the World 4 is so much better when you have any power-ups. So much more convenient.
I agree.
Well, all of Lost levels. There's not that fear of just death to anything. It's always a good feeling.
Yeah, and pretty much, I like to say that 4-2 is kind of like the 4-1 of SMB1. Like, you got the Locky 2 there, but he's not really much of a nuisance, so you can just pretty much get past through there. Cosmic finishes beautifully.
Even in 4-1, there's not a lot of time to pull back if you want an optimal time in that level. It's really easy to lose the 0.3 seconds by pulling back at all and getting like a low 46 instead of a 47.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like a pretty easy level. Curious what the bullet bills are gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention there. Let's see what Cosmic gets. Ooh. Okay, he gets a pretty good bullet bill pattern there. How about GTA?
Oh, wow.
He gets that same bullet bill that I did. Beautifully done.
Yeah, the awareness to do a duck jump for that section, because that bullet bill would have hit him if he was not crouching, so good on him.
Yeah, we see Takate getting past 4-2 here, so he's going to have his chance at the bullet bills coming up in 4-3.
And of course, 4-4 is notorious for RNG with Bowser. It's so chaotic with his fireball, then the Podoboos near him, and which direction Bowser goes. It's just chaos.
Yeah. GTS gets the clip. That's nice. Cosmic just charging at Bowser. Gonna take a little slow there. Just grab the axe.
Oh, wow. GTS avoiding another really dangerous spot. Good on him.
Very nicely done. And we see Takate getting through 4-3 just fine. No trouble with the bills.
Oh, and at the end of 4-4, you guys saw previously how there's like a black space right here on Cosmic screen. The load times are different because they're all using a different platform. Whether emulator, FDS, or like a power pack or EverDrive, they all have different load times.
Yeah, so Cosmic is on the actual FDS, GTS is on an EverDrive, and Takate is on an emulator. So you kind of notice that GTA seems a lot more closer than he was in 4-4 because of the loading times, but it's still... Oh man, with the death on Bowser.
He avoided that Podoboo really well, too.
Yeah, he did.
And GTA is getting a little stuck up between that tight pipe jump.
Yeah.
The two pipes, but...
The Cosmic gets the super jump. Very nice. GTS also gets the super jump, so that's 2 for 2.
That setup for it is so convenient. Just walking right into the super jump, so nice.
Oh, Takate. That's a game
levels,
over.
Man. It's a brutal game. You guys have seen it in all the other runs. It's even worse than any %.
So that unfortunately takes him back to 4-1. We see.
We gotta go for the Devil Spell, where they clip into an upside down pipe. So it's pretty nifty glitch. You just gotta stand at the right edge of it, jump and press right, and then it kind of pushes you into the pipe, and you just gotta keep jumping until you're in the center. And it just works like a normal pipe for some reason.
Cosmic had a little bit of trouble, which gives GTA's coming in a little closer to him. So this race got really interesting between the two of them. And also got to cheer on Takate here because this level, like World 4, like even though the first half of it is not that bad, but the second half can be just very brutal. But he's handling it very well.
Like, I feel okay in 4-1 and 4-2, and then I get to 4-3, and the nerves are just so bad.
Ooh. Alright, so GTA takes the lead after Cosmic gets the bad bro there.
And you saw, none of them went for the wrong warp in 8-1, that Supersonic went for in his race. You can't do that in any %. You need to have beaten 7-4 in order to do that, so there was no reason to go for it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the game just unloads like the majority of the game when you take the warp zones. So going for any kind of wrong warp will just pretty much send you back to the beginning of the stage.
Ooh, they both got the double bounce. Nice.
All right, so 8-3 for both Cosmic and GTA's here. Takate back at 4-4. Hopefully we'll see him get through Bowser.
And it kind of looked like, I'm not sure, but it almost looked like GTA's went for an FPG in 8-2. I couldn't tell though.
It looked like he was going for it, but
Oh, that would
he
be
didn't
so
quite get
cool.
it.
I think 8-3 is way easier if you just do it like the speedrun way. If you don't slow down at all, it's so much easier.
What would be an FPG for the uninitiated?
Oh yeah, so if you clip into the block at the bottom of the flagpole in just the right way, it's very precise inputs, and I believe it's frame perfect or nearly frame perfect. It skips the animation of the flag falling, so it only saves about 0.3 seconds at best too, so it's a pretty risky thing to go for in a race, and no one does it in lost levels in their actual PBs anyways.
GTA takes a hit on the fire bar. So now both him and Cosmic are small, heading into the water section of 8-4, while Tecate is cruising through 5-1. See what they do in the G room here.
See, if I make it past the water room, then the G room still scares me. I'm just like, if I press left a little too early and you just fall all the way down into the pit, it feels so bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like a magnet on the right side of the screen. Like if you don't like pull left at the right moment.
And it looks like if you haven't played that section, then you're like, why did he die right there? Like, what's going on?
Ooh, this is getting really close for GTA and Cosmic here.
Ooh, and GTA has the mushroom, so you can just clip right into the ground. This is really close.
Cosmic has the nice Bruce, too. It's going to determine what's going to happen. Oh,
and he got the
GTA
clip.
goes for the clip. And GTA takes it with the 832, while Cosmic was just 1 second behind him.
Wow. And technically, Cosmic did have the longer loading time.
He
So,
did, yeah.
That was a
But
good
it could
race.
still be Cosmic's victory there, but I mean, we generally just use the without loads on the leaderboards for this game, like for the FTS version rather. But
Oh man, Tecate barely missed the input of the Devil Spell and went into the pit.
Ugh. Devil Spell can be kind of tricky, especially when you have a pit right next to the pipe.
Yeah, and when the Koopa's coming back towards you, it's really scary. You have to avoid the Piranha Plant, avoid the Koopa, and he's trying to, save as much time as possible.
Yeah, that pipe is just not being nice to him right now.
It's also interesting to note that he plays on keyboard. So I don't know how he does any of these inputs on a keyboard.
I don't know either. I actually applaud him for that, for playing on keyboard with this game. Like, this is like one of the most difficult Mario games ever made, and to play on a keyboard, it takes a lot of skill, and he's definitely showing that.
Yeah.
So now we see that he
amazing.
takes the intentional death to refill his lives, so he'll have a fresh 3 lives with heading into 8-1 here.
Nice, getting over the Hammer Bros pretty well.
Very nice there.
Oh
Ooh,
wow.
beautiful.
What a dodge. Very good 8-1.
All right, yeah, that was really good from Tecate there.
I mean, he is the world record holder in this category, by the way, so I'm not surprised when I see him do all these crazy things in just such a smooth fashion. I bet he'll go for the FPG. I have a feeling he'd go for it.
Let's hope he does. He definitely has a chance to get it here. Oh no!
Oh man, that looks like he had enough speed.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't get enough momentum there.
Dude, I don't know if you've ever done it, but you hit the vine and then you break the block that you're supposed to stand on. And then you just have to take a death or something.
Yeah. Either take the death or just like loop it around again by going to the pipe at the end. But
Nice. That Hammer Bro wanted to make an appearance too.
yeah, he just wanted to say hi to everybody, so say hi to the bro. Is he gonna go for it here? Oh, he
wow.
gets it!
Nice! That
He
was
gets
really
the
impressive. Wow. That's crazy.
So we get to see a flagpole glitch in Lost Level, so it doesn't always happen in SMB1. We can see it in this game as well.
And does that save time in the actual, like, normal any % run?
I believe it still saves 0.35 seconds or a frame rule.
Okay, because I know if you do that in 1-1, it doesn't save any time.
No, it doesn't. But it's pretty interesting how frame rules work in this game, which I don't think was really mentioned that much. But to briefly like summarize how frame rules work, think of it like a bus stop. So like at the end of each stage, you can treat it like it's a bus stop where every bus leaves every 21 frames or every 0.35 seconds, and depending on what time you finish the level on, you'll get like those specific type of patterns in that stage. Mostly for the castle levels.
Yeah, it helps you if you know what like frame rule you're on or interval of like 0.35, then you know the RNG, like the Bowser patterns, which is actually that's what they start at a specific time on the title screen to get a better chance at good 4-4 Bowser patterns.
Yes. All right, so we're going into the long corridor here in the second to last room.
Yeah, and any percent this part, oh man, your heart's just racing because you would normally go for like a fast bump or bounce on one of those Koopas, and it's not hard to mess it up, at least for me.
Yeah.
And just that long wait before you get there is so nerve-wracking.
All right, so Tecate grabs the mushroom and just says hi to Bruce for just a brief moment. Go through Bowser's hammers here. Nope, gets hit. That's fine. And then that's time for Tecate.
GG's, everyone.
GG's
nice.
to all three racers. Very nicely done. Of course, we have like RNG taken into play, but you know what? All three of these guys are really, really great runners in this game. So definitely give them a follow when you guys get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, as unfortunate as it is, it does show like the spirit of Lost Levels. You know, that's what the game is all about. That's what people know it for. Just brutal RNG, just killing runs left and right.
Yep. And
All
that's
right.
80% 8-4, guys.
That was pretty cool. Thank you so much, Ethan and Supersonic, for your commentary. But we're going to continue a little bit more 80% 8-4 action, but this time we're going to Luigi. So that will be a solo run by Svene. So give us a real quick minute. It'll be literally like 90 seconds. And we'll be back and ready to go with our next category. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix, and we are in Category 4 of our Super Mario Bros. Lost Level Showcase, and that is the any percent 8-4 Luigi category done by Svene, and I am joined, returning is Big John, and joining us is Goofy Chocobo. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
So I'm pretty excited about this race. Sven's a top-notch runner, and I know, Big John, you this goes back to your roots with Lost Levels, man. I mean, this is where it's at for you, right?
Man, yeah, back when Nixon was president, I think that's when I first picked this game up. So, yeah, this is the first category I ever did of Lost Levels. It was way back, like right after GDQ 14, when an old school runner TJP did SNES Lost Levels then, and that was my inspiration to even playing this game in the first place. You know, but I want to put a Famicom, and here we go.
Here we go. So you guys have heard enough about 1-1 today. I'm sure you know it is chaos and a bundle, but Sven is tackling it beautifully.
You know, by the time this is over today, I think we're going to have some new Lost Level speedrunners. I mean, because you're getting a glance of like all the major categories here. I mean,
oh, for sure. That's my hopes, at least.
Sounds like a
man.
good time as any to talk about the Discord, all right? They can join if they're interested in learning.
Yes, please do. There are so many opportunities as far as resources go to learn these games, guys. So please, I encourage you to look into learning any of these categories.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of categories, Lost Levels, this category is Luigi, is a little bit easier in some places, especially in 1-2. So in Mario, you heard about the wall jump, waiting for the platform, but Luigi can just jump straight up over that pipe and go down to 1-2's warp zone, which actually has additional warp zone to take you to World 2 as well. But he didn't go for that big jump. You can actually go over that jump and go all the way over. You can also wall jump this for our fastest, but looks like no one's quite that bold today.
Yeah, he told me ahead of time. He didn't want to do that one.
Yeah, again, like you saw previously, if you die in this area, you're going back to the very beginning of 1-2. So, play a little safe. I can respect that.
Oh, yeah. Conservative all the way, especially for a marathon, I think.
Yeah, and I probably like this more because, again, one of the runs where you basically stay small the whole run. Again, 4-1, not a big fan. Based on your movement, you can, obviously manipulate these piranhas, making it pretty free to clear it.
Like that swag Lakitu bounce at the end there. It's always a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's the prime 4-1 right there for me.
Oh yeah. So World 4, not too crazy. We start amping up the difficulty once we get beyond World 4, but he's playing it pretty smooth so far.
Yeah, man, I don't know. This category it's just a nice length category. Like I said, if you want to get into lost levels, I think at the 80% ones are very nice. They can be a little challenging, but they're pretty short overall. You don't have to worry about like trying to get a sub 5 in Mario 1 or something. But you can, they're pretty nice. And if you take the approach like I did and many others, just kind of learn one level at a time, just keep adding on to it, and next thing you know, you're done with the category. And you got to run.
So 4-3. I believe that this one's a little bit easier with Luigi, personally, because these gaps are a lot less difficult to clear, so they have a small window to clear with Mario, but Luigi, he can just soar over them. Unless you get hit by Bill.
Now, see, interesting enough, Luigi does spend a lot less time jumping, because you can clear so many gaps. But, oh, man, rare Bill there. That's a very unusual Bill on that death.
These are some rough patterns.
Yeah, and like I said, typically, as you see him slow down a little bit there, typically I would always take the upper path, just to take out that RNG of that last Bill before the home stretch. But he decided to go on the bottom path. But sometimes that's the chance you take when you go down there. But hey, I tell you, man, I don't know if we're gonna get through a run today without some kind of issue in this game. It's the Lost Levels curse. It really is, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. There's always something that's going to throw at you, and these bullet bills are vicious in Lost Levels.
Mm-hmm. So what he needs to make sure he does is to definitely get past this Bowser. Again, we're on our last life here, Monka S, and so we need to make sure we don't take anything. He's going to challenge it. Ooh!
Oh my goodness. All right, I like that ledge strat there. That was nice.
Yeah, because Luigi has all that momentum, so that's basically your wall to slow down, because if you just try to just hold left, you're going to be slowing down for like 2 seconds, and next thing you know, you slid right into Bowser's hitbox. So that's definitely the way to play it.
It is incredibly difficult to decelerate with Luigi. I mean, once he gets going, he's going.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. So he's bumped the safety game over. He's going for it. I respect that. We only have 2 stages to get to World 8, so 5-1, not too much of a threat here.
To see if he goes for super jump or not. What do you think, Big John?
Oh, you have to. You cannot not go for it. You just have to.
You got to go for it, man. It's a staple of this level.
Yes, man. I mean, literally, if you miss it, you may as well reset. Your run is invalidated. I'm not going to prove it.
Oh, you went for it, though.
Can we get someone to restart the timer here? We got to start this run over again.
I know, man.
Hold on now. Hold on.
At least you've seen it once or so today, so we still got some more chances to get that super jump shown off, I'll tell you.
Oh, for sure. That's always a fan favorite, but he went for it.
Yeah. All right, so 5-2. Maybe we'll get a taste of another double spell here, and you'll see exactly how that saves time. So one thing about this double spell is that, and this used to have a different route, especially back when I was actually running this category, where you would basically clip against the wall into the pipe. And the main advantage of this is that, first of all, it skips the animation of the character climbing. Well, first of all, the vine spawning, the character climbing up, and of course, stopping at the top, moving over. So that's like at least a good 9 seconds of time saved alone just doing that. So that's definitely a more optimal thing to do.
It's like he's replenishing his lives here too, which is a smart move.
Definitely. Now 8-1, I tell you what, 8-1 is you get to enjoy the hitboxes. And if you haven't noticed yet, the hitboxes of this game are very similar to Mario 1. The piranhas don't have a full hitbox, just kind of the stalk is the main damaging point. So the hitboxes are smaller. The vertical ones, the ones that face down, were a little bit awkward. They don't exactly have the exact same placement, but that's why the beginning of it can be a little scary, especially if you're big on the Famicom version anyway. But 8-1 is a hard level.
I gotta say, shout outs to bottom route too. I've not seen that done very often, Big John. He took bottom route the whole way for 8-1.
Yeah, bottom round is really challenging, man, because again, you got to watch those pipe jumps and the piranhas there, and yeah, you nailed it.
He got it.
And of course, there. No double bounce there, but nevertheless, he is up there again. You got to make sure you bounce off that Koopa and take that vine to proceed to 8-3.
That Koopa bounce can be very scary sometimes because if you hit it at a particular angle, it'll shoot you down into that gap. It's kind of hard to explain, but you just have to see it. But he definitely avoided that, which is good.
Yeah. When it happens, just like you just put down your controller, or do the typical "Oh my God, I'm about to die" in a Mario game pause. You know,
Yes.
thinking it's going to change the outcome, and hey, just unpause and let it happen.
So interestingly enough, there's a lot of Kaizo blocks spread throughout 8-3 that you won't see, but you'll see him run across these last two right there. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, typically when you're trying to jump over an enemy, you'll probably jump, a few blocks away, and good old Miyamoto decided to put those hidden blocks right where you probably would normally jump, and you'll bonk and right into a hammer, brother.
Yep. He knew what he was doing.
Yep. A little hesitant on that jump. Again, this Poodaboo is very unpredictable if you don't really know what frame rule you're on. Again, the maze-like level, you got to take the right route out of here.
Oh, for sure. You got that ledge jump at the beginning too, which is also very intimidating.
Yeah, I always say it's a little bit more challenging as Luigi, just because Luigi has that slightly slower acceleration, so it kind of gives you a little less time to really make it happen.
Yeah, I would think so too. Got the turnaround room good.
Yeah. So home stretch here again, pretty easy there. Gets to the trigger there, and of course, the nice little long run. Let's see if he's going to get the power up. I mean, everybody else today so far has.
Yep, there he's going for it.
Not breaking tradition.
I love this free clip here. It's just the best.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Anyone can do this literally on your first try at it. I guarantee you can do it.
Yep. Just hold right. You're good to go.
No. And here we go. Time is coming up on the Bowser accent. Oh, another person cannot get through there. No one today can do it. What's up?
9:19. Solid time from Sven.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff there. He has saved that door. It's all good right there.
Peace is paved.
Yep.
For now.
That's right. There's more piece to be paved because we have more categories coming up. So thank you, Goofy Chocobo and Big John, for the commentary. And we are going next to the AD category. So that's going to be AD Warpless featuring Mario. And we're going to take a short break while we set up for that race. So we'll be back in just under 2 minutes.
Minutes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. And you saw kind of a little banter between our two commentators, Big John and Rupert. We're going to be talking for the AD Warpless category. This is going to be a race between GT Ace 99 and Takade. So, fellas, it's all yours.
Alrighty, it's time for the good stuff. Hey, Rupert, guess what, man? I'm hyped for this one.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time I have been praying for this day. It's the first time we get to see the letter levels on Famicom on the GDQ channel. This is like Oprah, like let her know. This is big time stuff. For those who don't know, to even play this levels, you have to actually beat the main game 8 times. You've heard it rumored, and they are finally playing the letter levels. I'm hyped.
Yeah, so we're completely skipping the number worlds and just going straight to the later worlds on this. So this will be an interesting race to watch between GT Ace and Takate.
Yeah. So of course, first thing you know is that the enemies start off just balling. We started with Hammer Brothers right in your face. We don't have time for basic little Goomba mess. Again, this is 16 stages, A through D warpless. And one thing you'll notice is that as this progresses, there's a lot more enemies. There are a lot less power-ups available to you. generally speaking. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Just like before, if you game over, you're going back to the beginning of the world. Now, by the way, for those who don't know, in order to even play these stages, you have to clear the main game 8 times. It doesn't matter what category, any percent. And you'll select your character and hold A and press start. That's Famicom specific. SNES, not so much. But again, that's specific to the Famicom version of it. And you'll see them easily getting through A2. Just watch out for the ending. It's really nasty there, man. Hammer Brothers and RNG Bills. Ooh.
So GTA's has a bit of a lead now because it looked like Tecate has a bit of a lead because unfortunately GTA's looked like he missed one of the bounces on the Koopas in 8-1, so that put him a little bit behind. But there's a lot of this category still left, and there are many things that can happen in this category, so it could even it back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, in fact, on A3 is one of those levels where if you actually get some interesting spawns of Cheep Cheeps, you can actually despawn the flag off the flagpole, or you can actually despawn the spring itself. Very awkward combination there, and over he goes. He doesn't, not that way. See, there's a secret over there, but we won't talk about it later. Actually, maybe we should talk about it because you're actually not going to see the SNES version. If you go over the flagpole on that level, there's actually a warp zone to World C there. Just a little FAQ there, little information. But we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we clear levels in a warper standpoint.
And nice job for Tecate getting through 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
And GTA unfortunately gets hit by the rebound by the Koopa.
Yeah, really nasty. That middle section is just horrific, honestly. There's a lot of dodging there and whatnot. Now there was a question in chat about checkpoints. Unlike the SNES version, where there are checkpoints in the letter worlds, or aren't, the Famicom version does have checkpoints in the letter worlds. So if you get past that halfway point, you will have a little safety. Also, something to note, which is a little awkward considering these are the harder levels, Bowser's do not throw hammers in the letter worlds in the Famicom version. There are no hammers being thrown by Bowser. Isn't that interesting? So your biggest threat is jumping on him or, watching out for his fireballs. Very, very interesting how they decide to program that.
That is one thing that I will say that does make this category a little easier than playing through the later worlds in the All-Stars version, since he doesn't throw hammers. Especially for levels such as C4.
Oh, yeah. Now, one thing I'm going to show you all that's going to bother you, I want you all to look at the world letter in the top of the screen where you see the B. Notice the bottom of the B, the little black outline is missing. If you look very closely, you'll see the line just kind of constantly fly by from right to left. Look closely, you'll see it. You see it beside the coin count on Tecate's string. It's on the left side of the screen now. Just watch there, and you'll see it every level. For some reason, when they drew the sprite, as opposed to it being on the GUI, it's actually the heads up. It's actually on the background of the screen, so you'll just see it constantly go by and by. Cannot unsee it now, right?
I had never noticed that, and you're right. I will always see that now, and it will annoy the heck out of me.
Yeah. So any level that doesn't have a solid black background, you'll be able to see it easily. I'm sorry.
Why did you have to do this to me?
I guess I have to point it out, So through B3, no problem. Again, B3 is a little scary in those big jumps at the end, especially as Mario, because those are all not quite pixel perfect, but they may as well be. And into the ragu goes Tecate.
So that's going to help GTA's out a little bit as far as trying to catch up.
Yeah. Now 5-4 looks like a maze in the latter part of it, but it actually is not. It doesn't matter what path you take, the upward or lower, you get at your destination at the exact same time. This also is interesting to Lost Levels. It's the only level in the game that has a warp zone in a castle stage. That very last pipe is actually a warp to World D. And of course, Bowser being free, just clear him and watch out for the fireballs, and it's easy. And GT not too far behind, about a third of a stage behind here. One death can tie this right back up very, very easily.
So we're moving on to World C, where some of these levels can be pretty tricky. Particularly, it looks like Tecate is going for Devil Spell here. And he's at the end of C1. Nice job.
Isn't that fun? So for some reason, whenever you go in some kind of pipe, the exit, now this only applies to Warpus, by the way. If you do this in 80%, it doesn't work. But only in Warpus, for some reason, when you take that pipe entry, the game's exit point puts you right beside the flagpole. How convenient.
And GTA's also gets the warp there, so nice job for GTA's on that as well. Oh no, and Tecate got a bad bullet bill.
I'll tell you what, now C2 is a hard level. First of all, the beginning of C2 was very, very scary because of the blooper, and you know, on top of that, if you get past the blooper shenanigans, you got bullet bill shenanigans, especially towards the end. Slow down just a little bit, trying to avoid the fireworks there, it looks like. So here's a big difference. Now, let's talk about levels here. You've been watching this all day, I'm sure you have. You saw good old 7-3 with the springs and the wind. Well, they're back. This time with more issues. Now we have Lakitu joining the party. We also have a lot of piranhas. And one problem about this one is if you don't maintain your fastest movement in the air, you can actually despawn the springs because of sprite overload, which you're forced to take a death because of it, because you can't go to level. So you gotta be careful.
Tecate slowed down a little bit there before the piranha plant to try to take a good approach at the springboard, and it looks like he took the safe route on the next to the last one. You can skip some of the springboards on this, but if you mess up, then you can end up with a death. Yeah.
Trying to walk it off and lay on the platform and get your jump again. Got to be careful there. So C4 again, both players on their last life, so any death is going to send them back to the beginning of World C here.
And I think there was a question in the chat if players are allowed to continue if they get a game over. Yes, they can. They're allowed to continue. If they do that, it will put them back at the first stage of the world that they game over. Oh no, and Tecate got hit by that third Koopa.
Yeah, and like I said, if you were watching the early part, Lost Levels has a natural continue system built in, so you don't have to do like Mario 1, hold A and press start. Here on the Famicom, you just basically just choose the continue option, and you just start back at the beginning of the world you came over and on. And looks like GTA is playing a little safe here, getting the mushroom so we can at least survive one hit. And they notice this part of C4. This is a clone of 7-4, but now it has these blocks in the corner, so you have to go fast. And wow, what a great job of not taking damage there. Well, taking there is kind of expected. He's going to iframe it. Alrighty. Yeah, that rotating block section where you have to kind of just time it and move is really hard. Especially if you're big, to not take damage, and GTA did a really good job of that.
So on to World D for GTA's.
Dumb one.
And looks like he is going to refill his lives here.
Yeah. Now, some more differences between the Famicom and Lost Levels. Here on the Famicom version, Hammer Brothers do not initially charge you like they do on the SNES version. Now by charging, I mean you can just stand still and they just come right towards you. They just don't stop. And based on your frame rule you're on, you don't know where those 200 brothers are going to be at the very beginning of D1. It has ruined a lot of runs because you hope they don't show on the bottom. And fortunately he's through D1, so he's done with that little storm there. And D2 again. D2 pretty free stage.
Yeah, not really a lot to D2, but once we get to D3 is a nightmare of a level.
Yeah, if you've ever seen some runs of Lost Levels that involve D3, D3 can be a hot mess. D3 has a lot of enemies, a lot of bills, Hammer Brothers all over the place, especially if you are little. Now there's usually a mushroom or power up at the beginning that you'll probably get, if you can even get that in the first place, because it's pretty well secured by all these bullet bills, as you can see.
And GTA's just dancing around with all the bullet bills there. He manages to get the power up though. That's it's pretty important to try to pick up that power up on this level to get past some of the Hammer Bros, but it can be one heck of a time trying to pick up that power up with all the bullet bills around.
And it's not over yet because he's got to get past the last bullet bill And these things can shoot so fast.
I saw I saw Tecate kick the shell in C4 and get the 1-up.
Yeah, the easiest 1-up in the game.
Ooh, that was a little close.
Wow, Tecate pushing, and oh my goodness gracious!
Just barely makes it over Bowser.
He almost tried to kick him in the space there.
So D4, you take a little bit of a different route over 8-4. You don't go down that first pipe. You actually go through the end of that.
Yep, and D4 can be very scary on this outside section with the wind now. Sometimes that first hammer brother can actually throw hammers that you can't see. The actual sprite doesn't load, but the hitbox does, and you may jump in the air and just die. And you don't know what's going on, and yeah, it's fun stuff. GT going for it. Look at him. Is he just chilling? Is he having fun here? Is he literally here waiting? Okay, I'm like this guy. All right, he's almost at the home stretch. One more hammer brother. Dippy's gonna make the jump. Watch out for our last Pootaboo, and Bowser just get past him.
And
be careful. Ooh, the nasty.
And that's time for GTAs.
There we go. Good stuff there for GTAs, man. Showing you the debut performance of D4, or should I say Ada D Warpers for the Famicom. Very good stuff there. Of course, Tecate just a couple stages behind. He's going to clear it up as well. So make sure you get your GGs in chat for GTAs.
And congratulations, GTAs, with a 12:23. Pretty solid time for this category.
Definitely so.
And Tecate waiting for the bullet bills to go by so he can get his power up. And there's some invisible blocks that you see Tecate jumping on top of. That helps with the jumping over some of the hammer bros on this level.
Yep, there's a long trail of blocks, and oh boy.
And it looks like Tecate unfortunately got hit there at the end of D3 by one of the bullet bills. But so going on to D4 for Tecate, and we'll see if he can wrap this up here.
Yep. If for some reason you're able to get through D3 with a power up, you can actually just deboost this beginning fireball. You have to really wait for it, which is nice from a standing of getting through and not waiting. But sometimes you can challenge that very last fireball, but it's one of the most tightest jumps in this entire game if you try to go for that. Top level runners will do it, not me. You can go for it. I don't mind. Now you see he kind of slowed down there. You gotta be careful there because that's a blind jump if you just get caught up on that staircase. So you gotta make sure you may have to sneak up and just make sure the piranha isn't ready to just eat you up whole. And we're almost there.
Almost. And Tecate gets a forward jumping Bowser, makes it very easy. Yes. It's time for Tecate with a 14-19.
Good stuff there, man. So make sure y'all give it up for both of our players, man. Getting through yet another challenging category of lost levels on the Famicom. Mario, ADD Warpers. Good stuff right there. And just think, if you want to play this category, all you gotta do is beat the main game 8 times. How easy is that?
Easy. Well, I think it's time to say thank you very much to GTA's 99 Tecate for that race. And our next category is going to be by the commentator himself, Big John. He's going to be doing AD Warpless of Luigi. So stick around, give us a few minutes as we get set up for that, and we'll be back shortly. All right, we're back with the Super Mario Bros. Lost Level Showcase, and we are in the A through D Warpless category with Luigi, and we have a run by none other than Big John himself. So, Big John, it's all yours. You take it away. And we have a run by John himself. Big John, it's all yours.
Alrighty, you all. What's up? We are going to keep going with this Lost Level stuff. We got more A to D action here coming for you. This time with the green guy. Again, the better brother. Alrighty, so just like the rest of the races and runs today, this will probably be bad too. Alrighty, so I'm gonna try to reset for a better frame rule, but I'm sure it won't work out. Alrighty, here we go. Starting with the wrong character, of course, because we're not playing as Mario. Again, we're going to have this loading time, again, because this game is on side B of that highly sophisticated device. So time will start in just a few moments here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So welcome to the A to D variant Luigi style of the Lost levels here. And just like you kind of saw earlier, kind of same thing happening. I'm already on a bad frame rule, so I'm a little scared. Alrighty, we're done with 1/16 of the game already. Alrighty, so again, just like before, you're going to kind of see the exact same route that you saw from our previous race. And again, underground level, here's to a non-game over. I'm not saying anything about egg rolls, so you all can forget about it. Go get a steak instead, I'm hungry. So again, this little scary part in here. Let's hope for nothing bad here. We're just going to walk off here, jump over, and pray to God we don't get hit by nothing. Kobe! Yeah, Kobe. Yeah, exactly. Shout outs to bad jumps here. Yep. Hey, at least I didn't get hit by an enemy. Yeah. Anyways, don't worry. That was just RNG manipulation, as I say. See, I've been running this game for a while. See, I know some of them strats. Is that what happens for me not singing about food in a Lost Levels run for once? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm making the chat man no egg rolls. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here, check it out. There's a power-up right there. So our friends at me and Mo decided to make things very... I want to see if I can show y'all something here. No, I can't. I want to see if I could despawn either the flag or the spring for you, but it's all good. Well, thank you. Make sure you all drop that support for the GDQ channel, man. Shouts again and thank to them so much for giving Lost Levels the love and attention it is loved and needed for. So again, here comes this scary section here. I'm a little scared here. Again, we'll watch out for that kickback. So we got all these jumps here. And I'll play that very, very safely because I didn't want to die. Let's see if Bowser's going to be nice here. Oh, he backed up. Look at that. You see him? Did you see him back up on me? You see what happens when you play it safe, you die. I told y'all, when you're playing Lost Levels, don't slow down. Alrighty. Look how fast this firebar is moving. Alright, so we're going to play a little... See, this is having me commentate so much. Yeah, that boy was moving, wasn't he? So, just like everyone else today, I also want to be careful about game overing. Because I don't want to replay the first world of this game. There we go. So in the spirit of Lost Levels today, I will also take a tactical game over. Because I'm just showing you how to be an effectively good Mario or Luigi runner of Lost Levels. It's all about tactical game overs. See, let me show you how to game over. You run into an enemy. And this also answers the question. See, look, it shows continue on the screen. So it's very, very easy to continue your progress. Let's continue, shall we? On to good old B1. So B1 has some hidden blocks throughout the levels and all that good stuff. I generally know what I'm doing, not really. We're going to slow down here just to avoid that Koopa. We're going to challenge hitboxes because they're cool. We're going to go for a big bounce here. Land right in the piranha's mouth and finish the level so easily. Yeah, this is totally not a rerun. I'm actually watching in real time. I'm reading the chat. I see you people. I see you people. Alrighty. Are you all watching the B as I mentioned previously? Check out the bottom of the B. You see it? Watch it move to the left. There it goes. See, it's right there. Alrighty. So again, the only water stage in this game. And just kind of be careful. Now, of course, depending on what frame rate you're on, depending on where these things spawn, And again, it plays very, very similar to the, wow, this is garbage. So again, having to wait because we do have no power-ups, and I almost took a death there. Again, you see the current pulling me down. I'm actually going to go up here because I don't trust the bottom. Sometimes if you take the bottom path, there could be a cheap there, which becomes very challenging to dodge. Wow, I feel like I'm having a flashback of GDQ here with these blocks in front of the pipe out of the water stages. Again, it is faster to hit the top of the flagpole. A lot of misconception about this game and Mario 1 is that hit to the bottom of the flagpole. Now, unless you're going for flagpole glitch, it is not faster. Mainly because in all the games, the characters do accelerate faster when they are moving backwards. So when you're going off the flagpole, notice you're already backwards. And actually it's quicker. You know, it's like some geometry kind of stuff. Oh, trying to kill me now while I'm trying to dropping knowledge. So again, those jumps are really scary as Mario. Luigi, not so much. Dude, don't try to figure out how fire works in wars, okay? Haven't you all seen movies like, I don't know, something that has like movies where there's fire in the water? I guess if the fire is really, really hot, it will like still burn. Somebody double jumps. Oh, missed it. If you're big, you can actually clip through that. I'm feeling kind of bold. Now, the best thing about this run is hopefully not bonking there, as I showed you exactly what not to do. Luigi is a little bit slower in acceleration, so you want to kind of avoid your bonks. Like I missed every single one. So we're going to go over here, jump over, watch out for fire, and just somersault over Bowser like it's nothing. Easy, right? This is half the game. This is half the game. Fuel on water, yes. Well, I don't think those fire bars are fuel propelled, but so just like the previous game. Want to see something cool? Oh, you ain't gonna see it because I messed up. I have to show you this. I think I'm required to show you this no matter what. I think I have to show this no matter what because of everyone else doing it. So I'm gonna do this. There you go. See, that's the Luigi strat for that one. See? And just like you saw in the Mario race, the game is a little confused and suddenly flagpole. Don't even try to understand it. It just happens. Oh boy, shouts out to bad patterns in C2. Remember that game over I said? It's probably incoming. So that's the biggest problem with this category. God, the patterns can be really dumb at the beginning of C2. One of the reasons I'm really scared. Oh my goodness, I had to delay that jump. I'm actually gonna go for a 1-up here. Oh, timing failed. Missed 3. That's why that is so scary. That bullet bill, you don't know where it's gonna be. Hit bosses are our friends. Alright, let's go to C3. I'm still on 1 life, so I'm a little scared here. I'm a little bit scared here. So we're gonna try my best to maintain my momentum throughout this. So we don't have to worry about any problems. So I'm gonna try my best to get a 1-up on the flagpole here, if I can. Because I want to make sure we don't GG, at least have a little comfort. So we should make it all the way. Oh, no we didn't. No we didn't. No we didn't. A little shout. Yeah, that's why you don't challenge that sometimes. That's why you don't challenge that sometimes. But guess what? We can show you this again. Not, see, it only works on the first time you do it. If you happen to game over, then you can't show it. So now we gotta show you all the level as intended, kinda. Which I kinda have forgotten. So now you actually get to see the whole level. And it's not too bad, honestly. Getting a big jump over there. This just goes to show you, cheaters never win. And there's your one-up. Cheaters never win, even in video games. I am reading comments, so this run must be live. Exactly. That was a pre-recorded comment, by the way. That was a pre-recorded response. Boy. You see why you should never run this category? Are you all learning that lost levels should never be run by any person that breathes air? Should never play this game. Wow, look at these cheeks, man. This is like lost levels hard mode going on here. Well, that's comfortable. What was that double, man? Come on now. This is a pre-recorded anyway. So here we go, y'all. Second chance at C3. Second chance, man. That was a really awful pattern. It was so many cheap cheats. It actually didn't even spawn the blooper that time. You don't breathe air, don't worry. Sometimes all you need in life is a nice little good old whiff of McDonald's. Yeah. Isn't it funny? I think I have the world record in this category. How'd that ever happen? So I'm not going to challenge it this time. We're just going to give you a nice little sound of wind here. And now we're going to carefully make our way through the last portion of this level. Again, because Luigi can jump so much, so big, those become a little trivial. What's my estimate in this game? About 40 minutes? Okay, good. You're not live. I hope you're all live here. All right, you all. C4. Again, a clone of 7-4. You know what? I have to show y'all something cool. Why not? I know. Wasn't that amazing? Yeah. Hey, if I'm gonna have some stuff, we got time to show y'all some little cool tricks. Shouts out to old school NES programming. And we're just going to skip that one because we're just swag like that. Okay, that was a little too close for comfort there. I'm going to be careful here. I'm just going to play a little safe here. Alright, we're done. So in this game, if you are standing on a platform that's going downwards and you don't do any inputs, the screen will wrap you back up to the top of it. That works even in the water stages. You can do the exact same thing. Isn't that crazy? All right, so I'm a little scared here, so let's show you some strats here. If you ever get here, watch this. See, easy power-ups. Easy power-ups. Unfortunately, I missed my, so... Oh, you want some of this? See, I'm a big jumper, see? Uh-oh, I'm a bad jumper too. Anyway, just trying to show you some strats, you know? Trying to be like a live game facts here. You know, sometimes you know these secrets. There is a hidden power-up down there in that lovely location. If you are scared here, just simply grab this power-up in this block. See, we have to be educational yet informative. Whatever that means. See, notice if I hadn't grabbed that power, I've been dead. There we go. All right, you all. We're almost in the home stretch. So, again, D to the calm before the storm. It's always a speed run. But see, that's the good thing about being a speedrunner. Even on your worst days, you're probably still faster than a casual player of it. So, there is something to, you know, pat yourself on the back for, eh? Now, you can actually make this jump all the way to the flagpole off the spring. Really, really tight jump. You gotta have your full speed, but... Alright, y'all. You know what? I'm feeling so bold. We're gonna skip power-ups. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We got 3 lives. Let's go for it. Let's skip the power-ups. I'm praying for good RNG here. Oh, baby, let's go. This may not work out. I'm just saying. We still got the home stretch. Or we could have like a nasty spring jump, and it won't even matter. I'm not giving up. We're going. So again, those hidden blocks there. Oh boy. Take two. If you see him falling from the air, don't jump. I ain't scared. Oh boy, I'm scared. Okay, I'm scared. Alright. Bruh. Tell you, man, you know, sometimes those cannons can actually do 3 shots nonstop. So, yeah, you have to be careful. I'm totally going overestimate, but think how much you learned today. You know, isn't it worth the education? Besides, Lord have mercy, I gotta play Warpers after this. Good jump, yo. Good jump, yo. Alright, don't be scared. It's only my last life. Worst case scenario, they're gonna mercy kill my run because of how hard I've been working today. Alright, let's see if we can bring it home on the last life here. See, thank you. I aim to please. Alright, let's go. Well, good job, streamer. Good job, streamer. You're totally game overed. So check it out, y'all. Through the magic of television, because I know we're close on time here. I know we're close on time and whatnot, and I want to make sure we stay on schedule and whatnot. So watch this, y'all. Through the magic of television, we are on D3. That's right. We are on D3 here. That's right. We have to make sure we stay on pace here. So I didn't want you all to have to watch me play through all the stages again. So I decided to edit that for broadcast, so that we can have all that good stuff here. Isn't that amazing? Pre-recorded. Never. Hey, look. If old boy in the earlier run can just jump through a pipe, then I can surely just play fast. Here we go. You know, you have to have your backups. You know, just in case backups happen. I can't submit this to the leaderboard. I think it would be invalid. Look at that. I cannot get a break on D4 today. Look. You know what? You know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure we get through this. Alrighty. Here we go. I'm going to unpause. Alrighty. Can I trust? Who gets the newspaper? Does anyone in chat even subscribe to a newspaper? Some of y'all on newspaper is basically Twitter. Or like Instagram or something. Newspapers in 2019. Unless it's the Wall Street Journal, probably ain't. Hey, look. Progress. Would you like an egg roll? How about a spring roll? Would you like a tea? Alright, there you go. So since it's been going a little rough here, we're just gonna way down here. Tom! There we go. You see, there we go. I got you covered.
All right, Big
See,
John.
this is why you should never play the Lost Levels Famicom version.
All right, Big John. Thank you so much for playing this category.
Exactly. I'm trying to make sure they never play it. I have to tell you why not. This is why you shouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Big John's not done. He's gonna come back. We're gonna be doing everything, every single stage in this video game, and we're gonna make it a race with our great green friend Luigi. So give us a few minutes. We'll be back shortly to set up for that race. So stick around. All right, everybody, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix, where we're right in the thick of things in our Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels showcase, where we've been showing 8 different categories of this game. It's a whole community spectacular event, and we are now into the meat and potatoes of the showcase, as you will. We're going to be showcasing every single stage that this game has to offer. And we are starting with the Luigi category. So Big John will be racing Rupert 83. And I am Darkman78, joined by our wonderful commentators Picante and Tecate. Ellis, take it away.
Yeah, it looks like
All
we
right.
got the Spanish pronunciation guys here.
Yeah, you know it. And it looks like Big John is going with file D while Rupert is going with file A. So this game, the All-Stars version, introduces the ability to have up to 4 saves of the game. This actually doesn't matter at all for RNG manipulation or playing in general, but a lot of runners are superstitious on which run they like to start with.
Do you have a superstition?
Always file A.
There you go.
All right, so
as I was going to say, as we go through this, we'll point out some of the differences between the FDS version, which we've seen up until this point, and the SNES version.
the main one actually being that the hitboxes in the SNES version are much more accurate to the sprites. You can't really jump over piranhas in the same way you can in the FDS version. So you'll notice that runners, especially in 1-1 when you don't have power-up, or really in this case, every level since they're not getting power-ups, will be done very carefully. So you actually can get fire in this game. You can't do things like fire, small fire Mario or Luigi in this case, but both these runners I know in their PBs choose to go small throughout the entire route with some exceptions in World D, which we'll see. And Rupert actually PB'd in this game yesterday, so we're looking at some fresh gameplay from these folks here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because, you know, if you're going small only, we'll get a lot of similar situations that we've seen before where there's some tight dodges or some difficult situations. But there are also a few other differences, especially in the castle levels, as we'll talk about with like Podoboos and so forth. They jump all the way to the top of the screen, whereas on the FPS version, they're of variable height. So you'll always be able to predict what the Podoboos will do in the SNES version.
Yes. And just because the category name is a little different, we do want to note that they are running every single level in this game. So worlds 1 through 8, world 9, which is unlocked when you beat the game warpless, which we actually haven't seen in the FDS categories, despite it being unlocked after a warpless 8-4 run. And then the letter worlds, which you just saw in the FDS categories by Big John and the race that we saw earlier with GTA and Tecate. So the reason why we're actually able to do this is due to the fact that the SNES version doesn't require you beat the game 8 times before unlocking the letter worlds, which just allows for a more natural run going to World D rather than going through some hoops to do that. And from both runners here, it looks like a very clean start. We have a very close race so far.
Definitely. And I was going to say there's also no things like loading times, for example, where in the FDS version, there's a load after the fanfare, and then you have to die after World 9 to go on to the letter worlds and things like that. So we'll definitely, it's a much more natural run, as you mentioned, for the All-Stars version. Both runners here grabbing the star so that they can make an easy time of those piranha plants there in those pipes. That would be just incredibly difficult without the star. So that's the route that you're going to take in a race always.
Yeah, we mentioned that the hitboxes are more accurate, so pipe jumps, especially pipe jumps with Luigi, who has a very difficult time slowing his momentum, will be very, very difficult. You probably won't see them very much unless they're in desperate situations.
All right, so going into 2-2, this level is also pretty treacherous in some certain spots. You got some piranha plants that you got to deal with, and so we saw Rupert there wait on the piranha plant, and then there's this block climb you have to do here at the end and make sure you get that piranha plant out of the way as well. It looks like both Rupert and Big John easily through there and making their way to 2-3.
Yeah, this is where you really have to reevaluate whether or not you want to do this small versus big. Obviously, being big has a bigger hitbox. It's easier to bonk in certain situations, but being small requires you to dodge a lot of these enemies that you could usually just shoot through. and you'll see some of the pros and cons. There is a reason, though. They are small, and that's just due to the fact that being a bigger hitbox just means a much easier chance of dying to things like bonking. And with a game like this with a lot of hidden blocks, that's difficult to avoid doing.
Certainly. So now we are heading into our second castle level, 2-4. And these castle levels, they also seem to kind of ramp up in difficulty. 2-4 on the easier scale of the castle levels. I wouldn't say it's an easy level at all. And right as I say that, of course, Rupert takes a death. He got the Goomba sandwich, as I like to call it. He unfortunately got like the one frame or pixel, I guess, that you can't jump on, and you'll land right between the Goombas. So that's just a bit of bad luck there for Rupert. It's such a tight window for that to happen. That was just an unfortunate death.
But as you're saying before, these Potaboos, much easier to dodge than in the FDS version. They're much more predictable, and they go way higher. So unless you're trying to jump really high up, it's easy to make your way across the castle.
Definitely, and we got the commentator curse count at 1 already for this run with that me saying this is the easier castle level. And look at Big John going the middle route there and double bro kill. That was really nice in 3-1.
Yeah, so it's a scary situation when you're small there. Actually, it's pretty consistent to do that bro kill, but obviously being that close to Hammer Bros is never ideal. And with Big John hitting that flagpole, we're entering the first water level of the category. This category actually has, I would like to say, 3.5 water levels. You get 3-2, 6-2, B2, and a little bit of 8-4.
Yeah.
So again, with the hitboxes being different, these are very treacherous. They are also small, which one hit and they're done. There is luckily a checkpoint in this level, but it's pretty far in, so we're hoping they do okay.
Yeah, certainly. And these swim levels are incredibly treacherous. Just so many enemies, so many tight points that they put in this. It's a much more difficult swim than like 2-2 or 7-2 even in SMB1. None of that, I wouldn't say, other than like you mentioned, the little bit of 8-4, that little half swim, none of these are particularly easy swims. You see Big John right there kind of getting trapped in between a Koopa and a Blooper there and having to wait it out. And he's going to have to wait it out here at this coral section as well. Fortunately, he's able to get the Blooper to pass on over to the left. And meanwhile, Rupert taking a death. That just shows you the difficulty of this swim level. It's just nonstop enemies and tight points.
Yeah, and on the topic of nonstop enemies, something that we didn't cover on the differences between the FDS and SNES versions is that there is a sprite limit, but it's much higher than on the FDS version. So you're often seeing in a lot of these levels, there's enemies that you didn't see on the FDS version. Or in the case of water levels, there's a lot more enemies on screen at once. This is just due to the fact that the game can handle it more.
Yep, absolutely. And Rupert nicely through there at the end. He had a tough little dodge, so that was well done by Rupert, and he's making his way on to 3-3, which is where Big John is right now, and gets the Koopa bounce and faces backward. That's also a little bit of a difference between the FDS and the SNES version, is grabbing the flagpole facing backward. That'll just immediately put you onto the right side of the flagpole, and that will very often save 1 frame rule.
Yes, and over the course of the 52 level run, 1 frame rule that's a hefty amount of time. That's like, what, 20-something seconds?
Yeah, exactly. With a lot of different flagpoles in this, that can certainly be a lot of time saved. 3-4 is a maze level, so you're going to see these runners take what looks like kind of a funky route, but it's the route they need to take that's the fastest, because they have to hit certain trigger points, which are vertical trigger points where you approach a certain X position in the level. Your Y position needs to be at or above or at or below a certain point with these different maze levels. So it looks like they're kind of just maybe taking a safer route or something like that. No, they're actually just trying to trigger all the trigger points. And that's also one of the things that's different between the NES and the SNES versions is the trigger points. I believe there is a sound that's made when you hit them. Is that right?
Yep. If you turn up your volume very high in those maze levels, you could hear a slight ding. They've upgraded the game, made it a little bit easier. But one thing you also notice here is that these runners aren't generally scared about game overing. First of all, you start with more lives. You only have 3 in the FDS version, while you have 5 here. But the game over system is much more kind in the SNES version, which leading to basically a better casual player experience. Instead of game overing and then going back to the beginning of the world, you only go back to the beginning of the level. meaning if you had a checkpoint, you lose it basically. And checkpoints actually stop after World 7, so for most of the game, it has zero effect.
All right, so Big John through 4-2, Rupert just starting 4-2, but you know it is a lead for Big John, but in this category, literally anything can happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this gap shrink. It might widen. That's just the nature of D-4 Warpless, especially when you're going small only. You can expect some mishaps and misfortune. Big John coming up to this section here with the bullet bills, and
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, good bullet bill, and dodges another one there. So good 4-3 for John.
Ooh, commentator's curse right there at the end.
That was unbelievable.
Well, that was like one of the worst commentators' curses I've ever seen. Come on now.
I was about to say, I was surprised.
Epic.
I was surprised Big John didn't go up. It makes you not have to worry about RNG of one of the bills. He did on his second attempt there, but yeah, the gap is getting a lot closer as we go into 4-3 or 4-4, which is one of the harder stages, I think. Small, especially with Luigi.
Yeah, super close. We had a little bit of time there where they were both just hanging out in the castle, waiting to enter 4-4. So we're not more than maybe 10 seconds apart here between these two runners.
You notice they do a little left-right at the beginning of 4-4. That's because if you go all the way to the right as Luigi, you'll actually fall in the lava. There's some really wonky stuff with the gravity. I'm not sure if it's the FDS version, but I know in the SNES version, at the beginning of castle levels, the gravity is a little messed up until you do your first jump. And that causes some weird situations, especially with levels like 8-4 where you have to do a jump immediately.
Yeah, the gravity is similar, and in B-4, I'll buffer a jump there to kind of negate the gravity, and I just spaced out and forgot to buffer jump in my run in the Letter Worlds, and that caused me to gravity right into the lava. So definitely some weird gravity at the beginning of these castle levels.
So I do want to say I hope that one of the runners gets the super jump here. Big John has been hyping it up in all of his commentary, and for good reason. It's a great jump. But we're coming up on 5-1, which has the super jump. Going through the wind beautifully. And
coming up here. Not for Big John.
Yeah, we got another runner here though. This is still anyone's race. We're only about
Rupert. Oh, he got it, but he landed. He hit the block and landed short.
Yeah, the tease that is possible, but it's pretty rare. It's a slap in the face. You think you get it, and then you actually end up losing more time because you go all the way up and then all the way down.
So now we're into 5-2, another underground level here, and Big John does a brush against that pipe because he needs to wait for the piranha plant to get out of the way. So it's a nice consistent method of avoiding that piranha plant. Rupert going right under, and Big John will grab the star here. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Rupert doesn't go for the star. It's much more difficult to do this without the star, and it doesn't really lose that much time. But I guess Rupert is just very brave. You might be asking yourself, why aren't they going for Devil's Spell? Why aren't they just going and clipping through the pipes in levels like 5-2? You actually can't do that on this version of the game. So you have to beat these levels a little bit more as they're intended to be played.
Big John apologizing in chat with the missing the super jump, I guess, but he's looking fantastic right here. Rupert hot on his tail into 5-3, taking this warp pipe to go to this little underground transition level, and
let's
then
see if RNG is kind to Big John here.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna come out right in this spot with bullet bills that could be just horrible.
And the squid, but looks like Big John had great luck. And so did Rupert. And I should wait until they hit the flagpole to say that.
Yes, I've learned my lesson. One of the things you will learn when you play this game, and make sure to pick up this game and play it. It's a really awesome run, but you'll never learn to be like, oh man, I got lucky, because the very next thing that'll happen is you'll get unlucky. And as I say that, both of these runners take deaths in 5-4. So I wouldn't say that's a commentator's curse, because I was saying you could get very unlucky here, and they both did. I don't know. Maybe it is a curse.
Yeah, I mentioned before that the Potaboos go much higher in this version of the game, but still you can get what is called a Lotaboo in 5-4, especially if you're Luigi, who has a much higher jump height. It's very difficult in a lot of cases to avoid those Potaboos. Big John getting extremely unlucky with that Potaboo there. When you're Luigi as well, you can't slow down and dodge that as easily, so you're pretty much just left a chance.
5-4 proving to be extremely tough with Rupert taking a death, Big John with 2 deaths, playing it safe here on these fire bars. Oh no, and tricky pattern. They were kind of out of sync, and that leaves a really small window to get by them. And unfortunately for Big John, another death, and now Rupert has taken a bit of a lead.
Yeah, as they're saying, it's still anyone's game, and we're not even halfway done. 7-2 is actually the 26th or halfway point of this, the 26th level, which out of 52 is the halfway point for the game.
Thanks for clarifying that for me. I didn't feel like doing the math in my head, but so Big John finally gets through 5-4. Well done, and heading into World 6. Meanwhile, Rupert clears 6-1, so about a level apart for these guys. Of course, the levels are different lengths, so it sometimes it'll look like more than a level apart, sometimes less than a level apart, but anything can happen here because we're into another swim level for Rupert, and a lot of tight points here in this swim level as well.
And I remember Cosmic in the Warpless 8-4 race was stating that he considered 3-2 to be a harder level than 6-2. That might be true for the FDS run, but I always fear 6-2 a lot more in my speedruns than I do 3-2. I think that there's a lot more points of death. Specifically, bonking on this bottom coral over here will cause you to die, just due to the fact that it'll send you to the death plane, which is a bit higher than you'd actually expect when playing this game casually. There are times where, like, I was going to say, there are just times where you really think you shouldn't die, but you did. Luckily, Rupert cleared it very quickly, so he shouldn't have to worry about water levels for a very long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, he had a nice dodge there that it looked like he came within pixels of hitting one of those. I think it was a cheap, and now it's Big John's turn. And yeah, I think you're right. I think the difficulty in 6-2 versus 3-2 might be dependent on the version and whether you're using fire or not, different things like that. And of course, each runner also just has their own personal preferences, but both of the swim levels are just incredibly challenging. Rupert, meanwhile, in 6-3, he takes a death. I was going to say he just killed a cheap by stomping on its head. So if you stomp on the cheap's head, you'll kill them. And then Rupert, unfortunately, I think he may have jumped just like a frame later or something like that and just slipped right into the hole.
There are certain levels in Mario games with these cheaps that appear everywhere that you could really just run right and dodge everything. 2-3 is a good example in Lost Levels. There's a few in SMB1. But 6-3 is one of the most RNG heavy levels in this game. World 6 in general is one of the most difficult worlds in the Lost Levels All-Stars version as well as the FDS version. There's just so much RNG with the cheaps and I guess the cheaps in the water as well. And some hard platforming as well. So the gap is getting closer.
Most definitely. And so far, clean for Big John in 6-3. Of course, I don't want to say that because anytime I say something like that, we have problems. But thankfully, he does make it to the flag, so no commentators curse this time. Rupert, meanwhile, in 6-4. You can also do what's called the firebar skip in this level, but it is in this version, I should say, in the SNES version. But Rupert choosing not to go for it there. That platform jump up to that ledge there at the end of the level is a lot easier with Luigi than it is with Mario just because of that extra height.
Yeah, and I do want to mention for the firebar skip, Luigi with his ice physics, basically, it makes it a little bit harder to control. So I'm not surprised they're not going for it in a race setting.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and I hope you all listen for the dings, because there's not a maze level for a while. So this is one of the differences in Luigi versus Mario, going above in that section before getting the star.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're in 7-1. This is also just another crazy world, but this section right here without the star is incredibly tough. But with the star, you just power right through the Hammer Brother and the Koopa, and I'm sure we'll see Big John grab that star as well.
And to be honest, it's actually one of the more scary parts as a run killer perspective. If you die after you hit these hammer bros, or after you pass these hammer bros, you actually enable a checkpoint right behind the hammer bros. So you often have to essentially force yourself to game over to remove the checkpoint before continuing the run. It's one of the worst places to die. We're coming up on some crazy skills from Rupert there, going on like 2 enemies at once before landing. And he's out of that level. This is actually another maze level. They introduced, I guess, maze levels out of castles in this game, I think. I'm not sure if there's any in SMB1. But essentially, if you don't go in that pipe, you loop around and around again. This is one of the few levels that does it in this game.
Yeah, there are a couple of those. I know, what is it? 8-2 does as well. If you don't climb that vine, you'll just keep looping. So a couple of those, like you mentioned, in the overworld's looping levels. And now we're in 7-3. We've got the green springs here. The green springs are different from the red springs. They launch you a lot higher. And so in this level, they'll launch you off screen. So you're doing some off screen, just kind of controlling of your character, whether it be Mario or in this case, Luigi, trying to set yourself up to bounce onto the next spring. And Rupert taking a safer strategy, which I think is very wise in a race setting, to do these springs pretty safely, because if you misjudge any of these, you'll be just falling down one of these ginormous holes.
Yeah, each individual spring is about a 9-second sacrifice, but I mean 9 seconds is better than dying, so it's definitely a worthy cause. Oh, Big John going for it, and he was close, but close isn't good enough.
So Rupert now in 7-4. You'll see this level again later. It's like you'll see 7-3 later in the form of C-3 and C-4, but there'll be a few little extra wrinkles added in C3 and C4 to what we have here in 7-3 and 7-4. So Rupert taking his time with these Koopa shells, very nicely done, and on his way to the fire bar section.
Yep, and with Big John beating 7-3, there are officially no more checkpoints in this game because there's no checkpoints in castles. So game overing will have the same exact effect besides having to press start on a game over screen in terms of like progress loss or anything like that. Rupert with not a great pattern. Yeah, that's really hard to dodge. That's unfortunate for Rupert.
Yeah,
but
7-4 and C4 Bowsers are probably the most tricky because you got that fire bar. You've got a Potaboo, I think, in the back there, and C4 especially, and then Bowser throwing hammers. It is just absolutely crazy. The Bowser, I wouldn't say fight, but dodge in this level, and now you see Big John luring him away and gets through. Nicely done by Big John on that Bowser battle there.
And it's switched again. We said it was anyone's game, and that's still holding true. Yeah, a lot of people really think that this is the true boss of Lost Levels. World 8's whatever. 7-4 is the hardest castle, I would say. 7-4 and C4.
No doubt. And Rupert, once again, good pattern there and great dodge. So makes it through. And now we are in World 8 with both of these runners. World 8, a little bit, especially 8-1, a little bit easier with Luigi. This jump right here is free with Luigi. With Mario, you kind of have to do this little hesitation if you want to make it easier, or you can do like a frame perfect jump if you didn't want to slow down. But with Luigi, that extra height on the jump, it's a much easier jump there.
That last hammer row can cause some trouble if he doesn't jump down. Big John did get some nice RNG there. Let's see if Rupert gets the same. All right, he also got the nice RNG. It's really problematic when they don't go down.
So 8-2, this is another level we were talking about where it'll just loop. So you're going to see Big John is going to bounce his head on this block here, off of this Koopa and then off of this block to spawn this vine, and then climb the vine up to this sky area where he'll grab the flag for 8-2 and make his way into 8-3, which is also a sky level.
All right, one down. And Rupert also gets it. The double jump is possible, small, but it's incredibly hard. It doesn't really save much time. It's not like any percent 8-4 FDS where it's necessary for a world record.
All right, 8-3. If you know the kind of the level, the layout, it actually isn't as bad as it looks, even with these hammer bros. It's something that these runners usually are pretty comfortable getting by. Then this is a little bit different than the FDS version. You're gonna have to kind of jump and spawn those Kaizo blocks, whereas on the FDS you kind of just run up on top of them. You just jump on top of those blocks and jump over to the elevator. So that's a little bit of another difference between the two versions.
And if you don't get P speed, you could often die just attempting to do that. Rupert finding the block. Yeah, some people call this the original Kaizo because of all the Kaizo trolls and the fact that it's a harder version of the SMB1 original Mario game. All right, so here we are in the water section of 8-4, the second to last water section in the game for B2. This is a maze level, as we heard in the previous run's commentary, specifically in the one that Big John is about to go in. If he doesn't go up here, he will not hit a vertical checkpoint and this room will loop. Luckily, he got it, though.
There we go, and Rupert into the water, and I'm glad this actually looks like water, because in the FDS version, it's just toxic black goo is what it looks like. But in this version, it actually looks like water, so that's nice. Big John into the final room of 8-4, waiting on our buddy here, Bruce, and making his way over to Bowser. Rupert, meanwhile, one room behind, so very close race, and we still have the letter worlds to go.
Yep, and you could tell that they can't go under with the clip in this version. That clip is only FDS. So we have a low 25 for Big John at 8-4. While it looks like Rupert is going to get a mid 25. I really hope I'm not doing any commentary curse.
Bruce
Luigi getting the kiss. But yeah,
no double forward Bowsers too.
Yeah.
That would be that's always the ultimate, is when you get the double forward Bowsers.
Yeah, that's RNG's pretty heavy in that level due to the Bowser patterns you can get. So we're actually seeing the letter worlds now, which if you haven't seen them on the FDS, they look very, very wonky. The reason they exist is an homage to the minus world glitch that's present in SMB1. So if you play them on the FDS version, which is the same console as the original SMB1, they look very, very glitched, and I think that was actually intentional. In this version, they just kind of look out of place. It's weird, easy slash what's the word like unnatural water levels with flagpoles and stuff like that. It offers a nice break to the runners, and you saw Big John over there avoiding fireworks by being slow, getting to the power up or getting to the flagpole. That's just due to the fact that, especially if you have an even number of coins, 6 fireworks is a 3-second time loss for pretty much no reason.
So one thing you'll notice on Rupert's screen, Luigi's head is like above the water here. That's because he did a duck swim. So if you are big either Luigi or big Mario, and you touch like on the ground and then you press down to duck and then do a swim, that'll change Luigi's hitbox from a hitbox that's like 2 tiles high to a tile that's essentially the same as a small hitbox. So the top half of Luigi's body won't even be able to get hit by an enemy or by platforms or anything like that. So you saw Rupert's head kind of was going above the water there. He also at one point was bonking on those platforms with Luigi's head going through the platform, and only the bottom half of Luigi's body was bonking on the platform there. So that's one thing you can do to kind of minimize your hitbox in these water levels.
Yeah, and the fact that they have Big Luigi in the first place is something that should be noted, I think, as well. When you beat 8-4, you get a mushroom before moving on to either World 9 if you beat the game warpless, or World A if you beat the game with using warps. So they actually tend to run this game small, so it might not be in their best interest to keep the mushroom. Luckily, it's a good buffer going into A1. There's an RNG section with Hammer Bros that it's good if you have bad RNG, but looks like Rupert won't have that available to him in A1, so hopefully it just gets good RNG here.
Yeah, and Big John in 9-4. We'll see if he plays this blooper safe. He doesn't. He just goes straight past it. Very nice. I know that blooper can be a little bit trolly on the Famicom Disk System version. I don't know as much about the SNES version if that guy can
very trolly.
Excellent. Okay.
But if you have fire, you could actually manipulate it by killing that first Goomba. For those wondering, it says thank you in Japanese. I'm not gonna arigato. I'm not really good at speaking Japanese, so I apologize if my pronunciation's not good, but that's all it's saying.
All right, we're back into the letter worlds, and the last time you got Big John run the letter worlds, FDS version. Now it is SNES version. So he got some good RNG here from these bros and powers right on through. That's the heaviest portion of RNG is those hammer bros in A-1 for this level.
Oh, and he did a fast. Oh, I think that is actually easier with Luigi. I'm used to how Mario looks.
Yeah.
The ending there, doing that staircase fast, is actually very, very difficult. So I'm happy he got it.
Absolutely. It's certainly a lot easier with Luigi, and we'll see a few of these levels as well where certain jumps just are a lot easier with. Oh, and Rupert takes a death there, but there are certain levels where some jumps are just easier. And so Rupert gets a game over, but you can see he can just continue right off of any level, and it'll just take you back to the same level you were on. So the continue system, more forgiving, especially for races in the SNES version than the FDS Famicom Disk System version.
Well, it's a funny level to game over in because it would have been the same thing on the FDS version in the first level of the world. But it looks like Big John coming out of A2. A3 is another RNG cheap level. If you are given bad patterns, you either have to slow down a lot or just take a death. I assume he does not want to take a death. That's a good assumption in pretty much any level.
Yeah, I mean, the only deaths you ever really want to take is if you, like in FDS, you need to take a game over at a certain point, but or like you mentioned, that one spot with that awful checkpoint. But intentional deaths can be strategies used in races, but you definitely don't want one in A-3.
So one thing to note about A3, though, I mentioned how this game has higher sprite limits. It actually can be overloaded in A3, and if you despawn the spring right at the end and then try to land in the space where the spring is, it soft locks the game. So it's one of the more scary levels in the run. And speaking of scary levels, these Potaboos are not playing nicely with Big John. He dodges them pretty masterfully, though.
Yeah, A-4 it's a crazy level because there's Potaboos going up and down. You got these one-tile platforms that you need to bounce on, and it's a very terrifying level. And if you noticed in the FDS version of my run there, the A through D Warpless, I actually specifically manipulated the frame rule I got there on, so I knew I would be able to get a good pattern. But here in this, they're not able to manipulate anything. They're just trying to get through a really tough level in A4.
Speaking of tough levels, World B coming up. B has some of the hardest levels in the game. Really, any of the letter levels are contenders for hardest world in the game. These letter worlds, they speak to the mantra of the game getting harder over time. We could say that, and the game already was pretty hard at the start. So, yeah,
I would say C or D is definitely the hardest in this run, but B is no cakewalk. B-2, especially the swim, is tough, and B-3 is a little bit easier with Luigi because a lot of those jumps with Mario that you have to make are a lot more air quote free with Luigi. So a little bit easier with Luigi than with Mario for World B.
I'm going to use this water level, though, to bow out because I actually have a race to prepare for. I will give Tecate the reins on the mic here. I wish both runners luck in the race. It's still anyone's race, and Tecate is going to do a great job commentating. So see you all on the other side.
All right, good luck, Tecate, and take care.
Yep, thanks.
So Rupert taking a death in B-1, Big John making his way through B-2 cleanly. Very nice, because that's another swim level that can be very tough. Rupert, meanwhile, now going through B-1. Let's see if he can get past it this time to make his way into the water level. Big John, meanwhile, into B3. This is what I was talking about. These jumps are a little bit easier. You can just jump straight onto the coin block there. And some of these jumps at the end can be kind of tight with Mario, but with Luigi, you can just go this top route here, and you don't have to jump all the way at the very end of these trees. You can just kind of jump a little bit closer to away from the end, I would say, and it's still easy to get by with Luigi, much easier than it is with Mario. And Rupert having a tough go of it in B-1, takes another death, so he has a little bit of catching up to do, but we're still coming into the hardest worlds of the game in World C and World D, so nobody is out of this until the axe has been touched in D-4.
It's just a marathon of a run. Like, you know, you think about like how difficult Lost Levels is, and now you compound it on the fact that you're playing all of these stages that are so hard. This is I don't know how anybody's able to even do this category.
Yeah, no doubt. It's an endurance fest, especially you know, especially when you start getting trolled in certain levels, or you know, you take 2 or 3 deaths in a level. It just it becomes a grind, and you just got to power on through it. But Rupert powers on through B-1, and now he gets just one of the worst patterns you can have at the start of B-2 there. But fortunately, it doesn't take a death, and he'll make his way through the coral section here in B-2. Meanwhile, Big John into the toughest world, C-1. On the FDS version, you can do the devil spell to kind of just warp to the end of C-1. It's not considered a warp because this is the warpless category, but it's not considered a warp just because it's more just like hitting a different checkpoint, whereas you're not warping to a different level or a different world. But in the SNES version, you can't do that devil spell, even though you're in the warpless category here. So he has to run through C-1, and now he's in C-2, where the RNG really starts to ramp up. You saw I got a bad bullet there in my run. Hopefully Big John will be able to avoid any such troll bullet bills. There is a strategy you can use where you take this spring. He gets a trolley bill, but very nicely jumps just before the bill hits him. So great job on that dodge there by Big John. Rupert, meanwhile, in the B-3, making his way on these treetops here, avoiding that red Koopa. Nicely done. And he will now head into B-4 castle. So C-3 and C-4, as I mentioned earlier, is kind of a repeat of 7-3 and 7-4. But now you got Lakitu throwing these spinies, a couple more enemies. So it's just a little bit different than 7-3, but not super different. We see Big John taking a safer strategy here. Wise decision to land on the treetop and wait for that piranha so he can have an easier go of it on that spring. And he'll play it. He'll go for the fast strategy here on this spring. And gets it nicely, and well done by Big John to complete C-3 the first try through. Rupert making his way through B-4, platform off that single block with a spinning firebar, and now just has to wait for Bowser. Bowser does not throw hammers on the FDS version of this, but on the SNES version, he does. So you gotta wait him out there if he doesn't give you a forward pattern, and Rupert waits him out and now makes his way into C-1. Big John in C-4, which is a repeat of 7-4, as I mentioned, and he goes right on through. Now he's going to come to the firebar section, and this is where one of the differences from 7-4 is. There's an extra block here, which makes it a little bit tougher. So he's going to wait out the firebar. The hitboxes don't collide there. It looked like he kind of went through the firebar. That's not a glitch or anything like that. That's just the nature of the hitboxes in this game. And now he comes to the toughest Bowser in the game, waits him out, and makes his way into World D. So we are down to 4 levels left for Big John. World D, let's go. Rupert, meanwhile, in the C-2. He's got only 7 levels remaining if you include C-2 here. So coming towards the end of this this marathon run, and then we've got one more run in the overall marathon, the Mario version of this extremely treacherous run. Big John in D-1, making his way through. There was past those first Hammer Bros. He's gonna grab the mushroom here, so that's optional strategy, and he uses it for a damage boost through that piranha. So nicely done by Big John there to grab that mushroom and make it through kind of a tough section there. There's the piranha plant, there's the Hammer Bros. So that mushroom is certainly used very often as a damage boost strategy, so you can get through that tight section a little bit easier. Rupert is also in the spring and wind level now, and we'll see what kind of strategies he employs here. D-2 is the calm before the storm. It's a very straightforward level. The only tricky part of D-2 is just hitting this spring at the end, but the storm that is known as D-3 on the SNES is just absolutely bananas. You guys are about to see one of the craziest levels in all of 2D Mario speedrunning right here, especially Big John as small Luigi. We'll have to see what happens here, but there's bullet bills firing everywhere. There's hammer bros, and unlike the FDS version, because of that increased sprite limit, you can just see look at all the hammer bros or bullet bills here that Big John has to contend with, and he finally gets the mushroom and continues his run over to the hammer bro section. And damage boost through the hammer bro. Rupert, meanwhile, making his way through C-4, getting through that Koopa section nicely. And Big John coming up to the end here. Let's see what kind of pattern he gets with these bullets. Oh, he gets a bad build to the face, and that sends him right back to the beginning of D-3. That's a game over, but thankfully you get to see the use of the game over system here, where he can just continue right on in D-3 instead of having to go back to D-1. So Big John powers up again. He actually gets a bullet bill, a pet bullet bill there that's flying along with him, and he actually uses it to damage boost, or not damage, to bounce off, kill a hammer bro. He makes his way through the hammer bro section, keeping his mushroom. This is awesome. Oh, he gets the troll bro there, but thankfully he had the mushroom. Will he get a troll bill? No troll bills this time, and he's on to D-4, the final level of the game. He made it through the storm. So Big John now into our final level. Rupert, meanwhile, gonna grab this mushroom here as well, just like Big John did, and use it for this damage boost. And there he takes the damage boost through the hammer bros. Big John waits on the fire bar there. Good idea. That would have right there had he decided to challenge that fire bar. And now he's into this little overworld section, and this is played a little bit differently on the FDS, or on the SNES version than the FDS. You saw Big John do this left then right. On the FDS version, you can have the option to just hold B and right, and then kind of jump over the hammer bro's face. But here, the hammer bro throws more hammers, and he comes at you a little bit faster. So you have to do a different strategy on the SNES version. So Big John's into the final room. Rupert, meanwhile, in D-2. Go under the Potaboo here. That's also a difference from the FDS version. Wait Bowser out and gets hit by one of Bowser's low hammers. One of the things that's different from SMB1 in SMB2J or the Lost Levels, Bowser can throw these little short hammers, and that troll short hammer just got Big John there, so he has to play D-4 all over again. That allows Rupert to close the gap a little bit. If Big John takes another untimely death and Rupert makes it through D-4, we all of a sudden have basically a tie game, so we just got to see what happens here with Big John. Rupert coming up to the cannon section, makes it through. Big John back into the final room again. Will he get trolled this time? Will he make it through? So he's just got to get over this hammer bro. Hop up here, go under this Potaboo. And does Bowser cooperate this time? He does enough, and Big John with time at a 41.55. Rupert into D-4, so these guys were less than a level apart at the end of this run. Extremely, extremely difficult run. GG's to Big John on the 41.55. Rupert not far behind, making his way through the overworld here. And gonna head into the second to last room, this little coin section here. Alrighty, and Rupert gonna go under Bruce here. Bruce is the nicest Bruce in the game. This D-4 Bowser here that doesn't do anything to you, just run by him. And then he will make his way. He's going to wait for the Potaboo. Different strategy there. Almost gets burned by it on the way back up. Oh, really tight pattern in here. Nicely done. Good dodging by Rupert, and GG's to him on the 42-44. These guys were less than a minute apart, which after, a 40-plus minute run, to be less than a level apart, really exciting, close race. GG's to both the runners, and lots of skill displayed. Really great dodging, lots of awesome jumps and stuff. So get your GG's in chat out for both of these runners. And we're going to be seeing more of this, but with Mario coming up shortly.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Takade, for that wonderful commentary. And of course, Picante while he was here. That was a great job. But yeah, we have one more showcase to go in the Super Mario Bros. Lost Level Showcase. And that is the same run, but it's going to be Mario. So it's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be a fun contest through it all. So it's going to be another race between Cosmic and Picante. So we will be back in just a few minutes. So I'll take about a 4-minute break, and we will be back. It's hard to say words. All right, everybody, we are back for the final run of the community showcase of Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels. It's been a fantastic ride throughout 8 different categories that we have showcased, but there is one final category left to show off, and that is the Warpless D4 category featuring Mario. And we have a race of Cosmic and Picante, and I am joined by my wonderful commentators, Ethan and Supersonic. Welcome back, welcome back.
Oh, good to be back.
Yep, likewise.
Objectively the best Mario Bros. Category.
I gotta say, this is actually really fun to watch, especially going through all 52 levels of the game. And both Cosmic and Picante are the top runners for the Mario category, so we're gonna probably see another close one here. Both of them do have a 36. Cosmic has the world record, and then Picante is not that far behind from him, so... All right, looks like we're off. So as we can see here, the biggest difference is they cannot jump over the piranha, so they have to do like a tiny pipe jump just to get through them, which is a little different from the MTS version.
Yeah, it makes 1-1 even harder, as if it wasn't already. Picante showing off the bigger hitboxes.
Takes that unfortunate death in 1-1. I mean, that was something that I'm sure all of us were really afraid of when we were running this. Just not dying in 1-1, but you know, things happen.
Oh yeah, dude, anything can happen in this game. And then obviously you can just make a comeback, so definitely not, and especially with not worrying about getting a game over anywhere, you're just gonna start on the level that you got a game over in. It's a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, I agree. And as far as the differences go, as they were mentioned in the Luigi portion of the race, the SNES version is a little more lenient in terms of like continues and lives. It's just the hitboxes are more accurate as compared to the FTS version.
And they're also still jumping backwards at the flagpole to save some time. And you also notice if they're Big Mario and they hit a block, sometimes the block will like push them upwards, because there is a little bit of different physics there with when you're breaking blocks. Like very different from the NES versions of the game.
Yeah, I personally don't like how Mario just like goes right through the block when he hits it. But
Cosmic got a really good power up just now. He did. Very optimal.
Very nicely done by Cosmic there. While Picante is just entering 1-3, so just about a level apart from the two. Gonna see Cosmic go for a quick fire grab here. Doesn't quite get the clip that he wanted to get inside the block to grab the fire flower, but he does get it the second try.
Yeah, that was very impressive, especially in a race, to go for that clip instead of the easy way.
Yeah. Normally the easy way would be just kind of do a wraparound and then just jump across to grab the fire. We may see Picante do that.
And I know the Piranha Plant and everything's hitboxes are bigger, but that at least helps you out when you're trying to snipe the Piranha Plants with fire. It helps out a lot compared to the NES counterpart.
And here's like the back and forth wraparound that Picante did to grab the fire flower, while Cosmic is cruising through 2-1 right now.
Oh, and you do have to, I don't know if anyone said this, but you do have to mash buttons in between levels to make the transition go by faster.
That's right. So the SNES version, you can pretty much skip through the level loading transitions in each stage just by mashing the buttons. You cannot do that in the FDS version because it just pretty much plays through for like approximately 2.7 seconds. So that's a bit of an advantage with playing the Super Nintendo version.
Picante going for a super jump. I feel like we haven't really seen many of those outside of 5-1. You can get one of those really high bounces or jumps off of any like enemy in the air.
Yeah, it's like when you pretty much bounce off them at a particular spot, usually like towards the left of their hitbox, you can actually just get shot up in the air.
Ooh, Cosmic handling that 2-2 really well, jumping right over the pipe and hitting the block off of an enemy.
Yeah, very nicely done by Cosmic. We're going to see Picante head into 2-2. All right, so 2-3, we're going to be reintroduced with the cheeps. Pretty much flying up into the air because we don't see any water in the background or anything like that. So we just kind of wonder, they're probably just land cheeps or something.
And I'm pretty sure I don't know if there are any really bad patterns to worry about. I feel like most of the time you can almost always just go hold right the whole time and not worry about them. The worst you have to do is like a duck jump.
Yeah. All right, so we see Picante get through 2-2. Cosmic heading into 2-4. Are we going to see a clip here?
Very
we are
nicely
seeing
done.
a clip. Yep.
And you see that despawn the fire bar, and it gives them a good pattern for all of these fire bars right there.
And of course, the Podoboo's jumping a lot higher compared to the FDS version, and with a very nice fire kill from Cosmic as well.
And Picante's just right behind him, keeping up good pace after those 2 deaths in 1-1.
Yeah, very solid so far. Let's see if Picante goes for the clip in 2-4. He gets it as well, so we got the double clip in 2-4.
That is awesome.
All right, now we're going to see his end of the Bowser kill. Very nicely done from Picante.
And Cosmic recovered really well from missing one of those bounces on the Koopas. He landed between the pipes, but he just sniped a Koopa and just kept going.
And he had the super jump off that Koopa as well, like towards the end.
These guys have played this category enough they have great reaction time when they need to recover or they screw up. They just get right back on pace without a problem.
Yeah. All right, so now we're seeing Cosmic heading into 3-2 here. There is a bit of a difference between this version and the FDS version. There is a coral that's coming up that is non-existent. Oh, Cosmic takes a hit. But there's normally like a big coral coming from the ceiling all the way down in the FDS version, but it is completely gone in the Super Nintendo version.
You know, I was wondering because if you're swimming and you touch down on the ground and you hold down, if you hold down and then swim, you'll get the small Mario hitbox. So it's kind of curious if we're going to see that at all from these runners in any of the water levels.
Yeah, if they have fire, I don't really see them doing the duck swim strat since they have fire to their advantage to shoot the enemies away. But if they had just regular Big Mario, then yeah, I could probably see one of them do that.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, even in like 6-2, for some reason, I do better when I just don't use fire. I'm just going to miss a cheap anyways. I'd rather be small.
Yeah, sometimes like whenever you shoot the fireball, the trajectory can not be in the direction that you want it to go to. So sometimes it could just barely graze the enemy and miss it.
The platform jump that Cosmic did at the beginning of 3-3, that's a pretty tight timing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's really easy to mess up.
Yeah, he actually opted not to go for the mushroom in 3-3, so we may see him grab the power up in 3-4, or maybe skip it altogether and maybe power back up in World 4.
Yeah, 4 is such a good option for power ups.
Yeah, and especially like the power up in 3-4 is kind of a weird area too. It's like it's a visible block, and it's kind of like out of the way. It's just kind of have to like slow down for it.
I thought 3-4 was one of the weirdest castles where they have that row of just invisible blocks. Like, I don't know how long it took me my first time playing through to figure that out, but it was so hard.
All right, so now we see Picante still with fire heading into 3-4. We're going to see him do a crouch underneath that gap, and then right when the ding happens, he'll just like kind of jump through that floor, just head up to the upper part of it.
I like the approach he took of shooting the 2 piranha plants, but still going up just in case he missed one of them, so he didn't have to worry about getting hit by it.
Yeah, that's a very good play from Picante. And now we see Cosmic grabbing the mushroom in 4-1. We'll see where he grabs the fire flower from. He's gonna go for it right here.
Wow, that was so nice.
That's a beautiful grab there. All right, so Cosmic's back in business with fire, while Picante is just starting off 4-1. And of course, we see that the red piranha plants have arrived, and we're going to be seeing that throughout the remainder of the game.
And in 4-2, only on the All-Stars version, you can actually get a 46 at the end I think it's maybe you can only tap left for 1 frame or something, and you'll get a 46.
Yeah, I've seen Like I would usually watch Cosmic and Picante run this. Well, when Cosmic was running this before, like sometimes I'll get a 340. There we see a 346
Nice.
right there from Cosmic. Normally in the FTS version we see a 345 for the level completion. So
Yeah, these guys are playing really smooth right now, though. Picante's right behind Cosmic. This is good to see. And now
Yeah.
Cosmic's going into the RNG, the realm of RNG right now.
the dreaded 4-3. See, avoids the first bullet bill. Okay, gets good bills the rest of the way. So very solid 4-3 from Cosmic.
Yeah, I'm impressed to see these guys going low in 4-3. I always go high because I'm just always so nervous about bad RNG, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's usually the third bullet bill that can troll you, like when you go in the bottom way. Like we've seen that happen a few times throughout the course of this event. But thankfully, both Cosmic and Picante didn't get any of the troll bills, so pretty good 4-3 from both. Cosmic misses the clip in 4-4, or we're going to see if Picante goes for it. See, Cosmic gets a forward Bowser there.
Yeah, that was really good luck.
Yeah, that's very solid. Picante doesn't get the clip either, but that's okay. It doesn't really save too much time there. So Picante goes for a little bit of a left and right strat. Also gets a forward Bowser, but just decides to face him head on.
That was a pretty fast Bowser kill, too.
Yeah. Now we got 5-1. Cosmic's gonna ooh, bit of a hiccup there.
Yeah, whenever I get to 5-1, those two pipes are the ones that are on my mind immediately. Just shooting the piranha plants at the right height and still landing on top of the bottom pipe, not easy to do.
Cosmic's got the super jump.
Yeah, he nailed that.
Picante getting through that narrow pipe way fairly well. So we're going to see his attempt for the super jump coming up.
Nice.
Very nicely done. Ooh, Cosmic barely avoiding that piranha plant there in 5-2.
Yeah, you need really good timing because if you duck, you're gonna lose speed, of course. So you have to jump at just the right time and let go or stop ducking at the right time, and everything has to line up really well to avoid getting hit and slowing down too much.
Yeah. And obviously, like double spell is not possible in the Super Nintendo version, because when you clip into the pipe, you cannot go down to it. So that ability is not possible in this version.
Yeah, the first time I played this version, I'm like, wait, no one does the devil spell in the world record? Dude, I'm gonna get this. And I'm like, oh, I can't do it. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's like some various glitches that you can do in the FTS version, but you can't do in the Super Nintendo version.
5-3 is another really trolly level, but it looks like the bills were nice to Cosmic.
Yeah, Cosmic's got some pretty good RNG there, so he gets through 5-3 fairly smoothly. We'll see what kind of patterns Picante gets. Okay, good first bill. It's always that blooper and bullet bill combo that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets through it just fine, so very nicely done. So now Cosmic's in 5-4.
He's going through it so quickly.
Oh my gosh. Taking a little slow on the Potoboos there.
Yeah, those Potoboos can look like they're going really high, but be at just the right height to still hit you, so it's good on him to stop and not even chance it.
Yeah, so still managed to keep his fire there. Very nicely done. I know I'm saying like nicely done a lot, but it is really nicely done because this game is very difficult. As we have seen for the past 7 categories so far, both of these guys are handling it very well.
Oh yeah, especially under pressure. It's good to see. And sadly, the magic trick isn't possible, but Cosmic does it in a different way, where he actually hits the invisible block, and then it allows him to clip into the pipe. So it's a different kind of magic.
Hope nobody blinks for that, by the way, because it's a pretty nice magic trick to miss.
And then that last piranha plant despawns for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it despawns an FTS version, if I recall.
Oh, they both got the clip.
Yo, nice. The double. We're getting a lot of double clips here. This is really cool.
Ooh, another water level. This one I do not like very much at all.
Yeah, 6-2 is quite a doozy. Especially with all these excessive bloopers and cheeps around. And of course, you got the corals in the way. So I'm trying to get way of the top, and then of course on the bottom.
The worst is when you just barely get stuck underneath a platform and it just slowly drags you down and you just have to watch it pull you down.
Yeah, that can happen as well.
And like the bloopers, there are like two different behaviors they can have, I believe. They can swim towards you and then and the other one just swims in the direction it was already going. I believe that's present in this version.
I think so too, yeah.
Depending on like how they load.
Okay, so it looked like Cosmic did do the duck swim on one of the corals. I don't know if Picante did that. No, he didn't do that because he's still shooting fireballs. So when you do the duck swim, you cannot shoot fireballs when you're Fire Mario. Not quite sure why that is, but it does give you the ability to have that half hitbox while in the water.
I bet Cosmic's glad he doesn't have to go for power-ups in 6-3, because they're not in a bad position, but the cheeps just make it kind of unreliable. It's very easy for them to just go up right when you get a mushroom, you power up, and then they just instantly take it from you.
Yeah, sometimes it can be pretty unfortunate, like when you grab a power-up and then you have a cheep right underneath you. But thankfully, they don't have to power up since they're both still with fire. Handling it pretty well here. We're going to see Cosmic with the wraparound in 6-4. And we're going to kind of see him push the screen to the right side a little bit. He's going to go for the firebar skip here.
I feel like that's definitely harder on the All-Stars version. Because that firebar that's right before the giant one, I just got hit by it so much when I'd go for the skip.
Yeah. See, Picante also doing the wraparound at the beginning of the level. We're going to see if he's going to go for the firebar skip as well. No, I think he's just going to wait it out here probably. Yep.
But pushing the screen forward still helps with that platform jump that, we've been saying is a really tight jump, that one. By pushing the screen forward, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, like for the positioning of the platform to be at a good spot just to get through.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so heading into World 7 now.
Oh, nice. Cosmic is making all of this look so easy. Just getting right past the Hammer Bros in this level is not easy to do.
Yeah, and that is a very tricky Hammer Bro pattern as well. Getting right through it. Let's see what Picante does here. Yeah, usually if you want to play it safe in 7-1, you can just grab the star and just go right through them. But these guys are experienced enough to not really need the star. So as both of them just showed in 7-1.
I love seeing in 7-2, Cosmic just bouncing right from the Koopa into the pipe. He snipes the Piranha Plant, just goes right in. It looks pretty stylish.
The swag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both these runners are just on fire, man. This is a great race.
Yeah, I mean, like ever since that hiccup that Picante had in 1-1, he still kept it close with Cosmic. It's just roughly a level apart.
Yeah. Both 7-2 and 7-3 make me nervous for how little land there is.
Yeah, and especially when you have the wind kicking in 7-3 while hopping off those green springs too.
Mm-hmm. And I swear sometimes I do the level the same way I always do it, and you just don't make it from the spring jump. I don't know why, but it just denies you completely.
Yeah, I try to like jump off the spring like to the right side of it as possible, like from that right before that humongous gap before the coins.
Yeah.
Usually that would work out pretty well. Other times if I don't get enough momentum, I'll just fall short like right next to the platform.
Yeah, I'm
And
much better at falling into the pit rather than recovering it in any way.
Cosmic gets another clip in 7-4. There are a couple more clips he can go for. We'll see if he goes for it.
And it helped him get around that fire bar too, by pushing the screen over a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna avoid the first fire bar. Goes for the clip but doesn't get it. for the second one. See the gauntlet of Bowser here with that counterclockwise fire bar. No issue whatsoever.
Yeah, well, that was another fast kill. Good stuff from Cosmic.
Yeah.
Dang, and Picante just made it right around that fire bar, no problem too.
See if he goes for these clips here. He's gonna avoid the first one. No, he's not gonna go for the clip for the second one.
Respectable choice though. Those fire bars are nasty.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that.
I'm glad they didn't get too nasty of a pattern with Bowser either, because it's really easy to get trapped between Bowser and that fire bar, and then there are hammers above you, so there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, 7-4 is very scary, and we'll see that again in C4 when they get there.
And in 8-1, as we mentioned, the wrong warps by going into upside down pipes don't work in this version, so that's why Cosmic just didn't even go for it.
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense to go for it anyway, because you won't be able to go into the pipe, but you get to see the entirety of 8-1, so that's not bad. Alright, let's see if he gets the double bounce here. Nope, doesn't get the double bounce, but does go up the vine here.
Well, and Picante got the optimal time, got a 344. That was really well done.
Very nice. Cosmic slowing down just a bit to avoid the fireworks.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any fireworks, have we?
Nope, not yet. Not yet from these guys. Gonna see Picante's attempt at the double bounce. He gets it.
Very nice.
Alright, so of course, like in the FTS version, they're able to run across those quote-unquote invisible blocks, but in this case, they have to uncover at least one of them to get through.
Yeah, on the FDS, you can just run on them before touching them, but yeah, you have to hit them to be able to interact with them.
Okay, we did see Cosmic get a 6 at the end of the timer, and he had 6 coins, so he's going to get 6 fireworks here.
Oh, and because it was even, he got even more. Or an even number.
Yeah. So kind of closes the gap a little bit for Picante, but not by too much.
And Cosmic nailed the opening jump, which is easily the scariest jump in 8-4 for me.
Yeah.
And you saw Cosmic actually do the duck swimming to take advantage of a smaller hitbox and kind of avoid the fire bar even better.
Yeah. Alright, so Cosmic into the second to last room of 8-4, while Picante is just beginning 8-4.
And you'll see that none of them waited at the beginning for any of those Poto boos, because since it's All-Stars, it's just going to go really high every time, so it's a stress-free section.
Yeah. Picante opts to not go for the duck swim strat, just decides to wait it out.
Ooh, Cosmic got a few fireballs on Bruce. Very nicely done. You gotta teach him a lesson.
Yeah, just for all the treacherous things he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Cosmic looks like he got like a 22-18 in 8-4. I didn't
What
quite
a
see
nice
what time he got
time.
him. Very solid. Conte should have about a high 22 coming out of 8-4.
Because what's world record for Warpless 8-4 in this version? Is it like 2157 or something? I'm not sure.
Actually, I don't think I don't know if a 21's hit yet, but I think it's like a very low 22.
I just knowing that Cosmic's been running the game, I just kind of assumed, I guess, that he broke the next barrier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember if he got the 21 in this, but I know for sure it's like a very low 22. I mean,
they're saying 2155 in chat, so.
Oh, it's a 2155. Okay, so there is a 21 time for 8-4.
It's nice having fire. So this is the best part about All-Stars is you go straight into World 9 and then the letter worlds. So you keep your fire if you had it. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And you still want to go backwards on the flagpoles. Even if they're underwater, it still is optimal to do that.
All right.
Real quick, mind if I just make a quick message?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
I just want to let everybody know that I hope you're enjoying this hotfix, and if you do enjoy more broadcasts like this, this is possible thanks to your support. So if you're able to support us on Twitch with a subscription, like a free Twitch Prime sub, or a regular sub, or you're able to cheer bits, that's great. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch an ad during the video, and that all helps support us to make these broadcasts possible. So thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, guys, we're all so grateful. Everyone in the Lost Levels community, super grateful to be able to have this event and show off one of our favorite games. So, yeah, definitely support GDQ. It's an honor to be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a blast since the very first run all the way to the very last run, and very proud to share the game with a lot of great guys here, like whether it's running the game or commentating. Very grateful. Thank you very much. So
Yeah, see, we already got one sub so far. I can't read the name from here, but thank you for whoever subbed.
yeah, that's what's up. All right, while they're slowly finishing up World 9 here, we're going to start heading into the nitty-gritty of the run. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but that Goomba looked like he was out of the water. Because he looked a little brighter compared to he looked a little brighter compared to the other enemies in the water. We'll see it on Picante's screen.
Doesn't look like any of them have had any trouble in World 9 so far.
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm glad we haven't seen this yet, but it is possible to get a soft lock on the flagpole, and I don't know how it happens, but it's something like if you land in the very center of it, you're just stuck there and you can't move.
Is it like when they do like the bullet bill glitch style flagpole glitch? Like,
I mean, yeah, it's
stuck there.
Pretty much the same outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, because I only ran this category a few times. I haven't really done much of it. I mean, I'm more of a FTS runner for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So like just seeing the differences between the FTS version and this version, they're pretty amazing to see. Like especially that you can go all the way to D-4 without having to like play through the game 8 times and like holding A and start at the title screen. So this is really neat.
Yeah, I've loved watching all the Luigi runs. I never play as Luigi. It's so cool to see that. It's all the differences in how they play through the levels.
Yeah, we got to see practically all of that.
And you can see that they're just totally negating all of the enemies in A-1 with fire. It's a sigh of relief just to have that and not have to start as small Mario. Oh, it's so good.
Oh gosh, like I can imagine, especially when the bros are just charging forward at you and not having like fire. It could be pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I believe the enemies act differently if you get to the letter worlds through warpless rather than playing it using warps. I think Buzzy Beetles are faster, and the Hammer Bros move toward you. I don't think that happens if you do it in any % D-4.
That's a good point.
I don't remember if it has the same enemy mechanics or not.
Yeah, because I know they seem pretty normal on the FTS version, but on the Super Nintendo.
I think I remember making a save state and the enemy behavior was off, so when I got there in a warpless run, I'm like, oh no, why is this different? I just had no idea that they could act any different.
All right, so Cosmic heading into A-4. Conte cruising through A-3. But we got some Sky Cheeps and Sky Bloops.
Ooh, and Cosmic dodged all those Photo Boosts without a problem. They weren't too nasty going low or anything. And you can see that Bowser's do have hammers on All Stars in the letter worlds.
Ooh, looks like Picante took a hit somewhere. I didn't quite catch where he got hit from.
Well, the end of the level, trying to navigate over the spring so you don't get shot up into the Koopa while Cheeps are coming. Man, it's so easy to get hit there. And he went right past the mushroom. Kind of surprised.
I kind of wonder if he's going to shroom up in B-1.
Yeah, I know Picante has like a list of all power-up locations, and he's practiced, getting them a bunch, so definitely knows what he's doing. Wow, and Cosmic just took care of B-1, no problem.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive there.
Oh, so fast.
Here you go, like the final water level of the game, B-2.
Dude, Cosmic's probably gonna beat my BB just in a race. I would not be surprised. Like, dang.
Okay, here we go. Picante's powering up in B1.
Yeah, I don't even know where power-ups are in this, honestly.
Hey, got the fire flower as well.
Oh, and B-2 is just the worst water level of them all. It's notorious for... I mean, even if you can avoid the enemies, in a speed run, doing it quickly is completely different.
Yeah, B-2 is just... it's just, yeah. I don't know how to describe it, really.
No, you said it perfectly. That's exactly how I feel about the level.
Oh, man.
I
All right,
wonder
well,
if... You can do a clip in this level through some of the coral, so I'm curious if Picante's gonna go for it.
oh, that's true.
Oh, it looks like he's trying. Oh, not a
Oh.
great position.
Oh
That's
my
what I
gosh.
was worried about. Yeah, see, the clip is cool, but... And you do it to avoid a bad blooper, usually, but then you just get bad cheap sometimes.
Yeah, just like that, it doesn't have fire now. So, and plus the power-ups to grab and like B-3 isn't in a very convenient spot either. But
Not at all.
He may probably go for... I think he may go small, like in B3.
He
We'll
could
see.
grab one in B4.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is a power-up in B4, but it's in kind of a weird area as well.
Oh man, Cosmic actually missed one of the clips.
Aw, dang.
Doesn't serve like a huge time save, but it makes it so you don't have to ride the platform, so...
Yeah.
Can't believe Cosmic missed the clip.
I know.
Alright, so... Cosmic gets through B-4 with a really nice fire kill on Bowser.
Picante's going on to B-4 as well. Because the bullet bills in B-3 can be mean every once in a while. They're not impossible, but they can be in terrible positions for you to avoid.
Yeah, that's very true. And of course, unlike the FDS version, no double spells, so you get to see the entirety of C-1.
Oh, nice. Picante got the clip, and he shroomed up in B-4. Very nice.
Alright, cool. And there is a power-up to grab in C-1 as well. So we'll see if he goes for the fire flower there.
I want to say that last jump that Cosmic did where he crouched and just barely avoided the Koopa above him, that's a very tight jump to make.
Yeah. Alright, Cosmic getting past that blooper in C-2. I think he did like a kind of like a early jump or something just to kind of manipulate the blooper to be a little higher.
Yeah, I've heard that works, but like I swear it doesn't always work.
Yeah, it could be kind of iffy in some situations, but
like I'm not really sure what is done to really manipulate it, but it seems like it works.
Alright, so Picante does get fire back in C-1.
Wow, that Piranha Plant kill was impressive.
Oh, but it loses fire to that Koopa. So here's probably a decision for Picante to make. Does he continue to keep getting fire, or does he play through the rest of the game small only?
I don't know, that's a good point, but I feel like in C4 he'll probably grab a mushroom just to be safe.
Hmm.
I feel like that's just especially with the end with the C4 Bowser in this version actually having hammers, it's just so risky to go without any power-up, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's true, especially with D-1.
Yeah, definitely with D-1, it just gets way worse.
With the bros at the very beginning. Oh, no!
Oh.
Picante with the death in C-2. And Cosmic getting the clip in C-4.
Wow, jumping all around that fire bar like it's nothing. That was nice. And see,
Yeah.
and the fire bars in C4, you have to go quickly or else you're just going to get hit. So you can't wait at the bottom, at least, especially on the second one.
Yeah.
Nice, and he, once again, just navigating through all of the dangers of this game.
Bowser's being a bit of a troll there. But it gets through just fine. Now, Picante's in C-3. We get the Lucky 2 joining in on the fun.
And I'm so glad that none of the springs should despawn in this version. That's good to not see.
Oh, thank goodness.
And luckily, Cosmic didn't have to worry about any of the Hammer Bros at the beginning. Just smooth sailing.
Yeah.
And even avoided the hammers by ducking at just the right minute or moment to do that. Nice. And man, Picante got through C-3 without problem.
Very nice. All right, so we got D-2 for Cosmic and C-4 for Picante. See, D-2 is it's a pretty easy level, and I really don't want to commentate or curse Cosmic right now.
I know.
But like for the most part, it's like there's
all
really
the
nothing in your
commentators'
way.
curse went over to Picante, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Couldn't. I hate that section with the 3 Koopas when you're small. I just can't do it. I don't know. Some people just navigate it like without a problem, but it scares me too much. Oh, nicely done.
There we go. Now heading into Darb's Nightmare, aka D-3 for Cosmic. Since he has fire, he should be able to plow through those Hammer Bros. While Picante is approaching Bowser in C4, goes right underneath him and gets a forward Bowser. Very nicely done.
Oh my gosh, and once again, Cosmic made it through D-3. Didn't have to worry about anything. That's so crazy.
Oh man.
He's on a really good pace, too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a low 36, probably mid 36 for Cosmic. Is he gonna take a damage boost here? No, he's gonna play it safe. Usually he would go for a damage boost on that fire bar just to get through without having to waiting for it to go around.
Oh, Picante didn't have to worry about the Hammer Bros too much either. Got around them.
Very nice.
And I didn't see, because a lot of people, if you're small, you do a bump against the first block, and it sets you up really nicely to avoid the Hammer Bro.
Yeah. All right, coming up on the last 2 rooms for Cosmic here. Picante just finishing up D-1. Let's see. A couple more things to avoid for Cosmic here. Gets hit, but that is time for Cosmic. It's a 36-12.
Real?
Is that record?
Isn't that? That needs to be retimed. Holy crap!
Could that be a world record?
Well, if that is insane. Man, we need to retime that for sure.
Oh my god!
Wow! My gosh!
I saw the time and I'm like, wait, can he actually do that? That's insane. GG's to Cosmic. Wow.
Wow! My gosh! Very phenomenal run from Cosmic. Picante in D-3 right now. Darb's Nightmare. Bring it home, man.
Oh no, the bullet bills. Dude, they just catch up to you and they're so mean. They go right at your speed and just snipe you. Man, I really wonder if that's world record though, because that's...
I think it is.
Yeah, so Cosmic just confirmed in our like little Discord that we have that he loco recorded and it was indeed the world record by like
oh my
5
God.
seconds. And he got a 36:08. Oh my god.
Wow, I am speechless. That's amazing.
And that's with the hit too.
Yeah, wow.
My gosh, I guess that's a heck of a way to end it too, like with the world record.
That's a pretty good way to end it. Yeah.
I joked about him beating my PB and he just blew it out of the water. So wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yo, congratulations to Cosmic on that casual world record. My goodness. What a guy. Like absolutely amazing.
Hey, Picante running underneath 2 Koopas. That's pretty cool too. No world record, but I mean, dude, how can you compete with a world record in a race?
That is hard to go up against. But you know what? Picante is bringing it home right now. He's right at Bowser. Gonna wait it out and grab the axe, and that is time.
GG's.
GG's to both runners. Like, my goodness. I mean, what can you say about that, honestly?
Dude, I've never seen a world record in a race, so amazing job, both players.
So we thought Yeah, this would be pretty fitting. Why not just bring on both of the runners and congratulate them and Cosmic in particular? So,
Here,
hey, Cosmic Mikante.
I'm trying to have
Hello.
a good race here, and the man has the world record. What am I supposed to do? Okay.
World records on accident. I don't know what to tell you. They just
Wait,
happen
oh,
sometimes.
Well, okay. I mean, congrats on the world record. That was so surprisingly until I guess World A, where I kind of made some mistakes. It was kind of close for a two. I mean, that's how Lost Levels runs are. For some reason, one person dies in 1-1 once or twice, and then like it somehow gets close, and then there's
Yeah.
a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly am in disbelief that you just got a world record in this showcase of all places. Probably the most people watching Warpless D4 of any stream in like the past 5 years or so. So this is crazy, and congratulations, man. I'm
Thanks.
perfectly willing to lose a race to that.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say. You know, I'm as speechless as everyone else. But yeah, it's pretty crazy because I didn't really play this game for the last couple months, and then nowhere. So
I
mean,
that's the way
that's-
you do it, huh?
yeah.
Well, that's like a legitimate thing in speedrunning where like someone takes a break for like a month or two and they come back and then they just like absolutely destroy. So
yeah.
It's just more evidence towards taking a break being actually good.
And this category is like so hard and mentally draining that when you do a race of it and you only have one shot, you like really focus. I think that's super helpful for this category.
Yeah, the moral of the story is don't try safe strats in the game, because I tried safe strats in 1-1, and that's what led to my immediate demise. You gotta focus on the difficult strats. Alright, well, I don't have much else to say. I don't know if Supersonic or Ethan have anything to say.
I just want to say thanks for having the hotfix thing. Obviously, I'm pretty glad that we did this, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
We
I
did.
guess I guess I will also mention just thanks for allowing this event to happen. Lost Levels is a great game, and I'm really happy that it was able to be showcased, especially a run such as this, to the entire I guess GDQ channel and speedrunning community at large. So I really appreciate allowing us to put this on.
Absolutely. Ethan, Sonic, you have any last words?
I mean, congrats to the runners, and shoutouts to the Discord, the Mario Bros, the 2D Mario Discord. Come by, say hello. If you have any questions, there are a lot of kind people that want to help out and have more runners, you know, so any questions, we're happy to help.
Yeah, I pretty much second what everybody else said. It's been an honor to be a part of this, especially running the first category of the run, and then being and the commentating, especially Cosmic's run, being a commentator for that. I'm super honored for that. That is absolutely incredible. And of course, everyone in the GDQ crew, and of course the Mario community. I'm really blessed to be a part of all of it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure, and what a way to end. So I'm going to say thank you guys so much for taking the time to commentate and run. So it's been a great show. So I'm going to go ahead and move you guys down while we close up everything. All right. So yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for watching this showcase. It has been a fantastic showcase over the last 4 hours. And of course, what a way to end with a world record in honestly one of the hardest categories I've seen run in a Mario game, like a regular Mario game. This category, like, I don't think the commentators could really like tell you, like, they could like say it like over and over again how difficult that category is, but it wouldn't do enough justice to how difficult that category is. So to see a world record like here, you were a part of a rare treat. So yeah, big congratulations to the to Cosmic for that world record, and of course congratulations to all the commentators and runners for taking the time to be a part of this. And I also in particular want to shout out Picante, who took the lead on helping organize this whole thing. So thank you so much, Picante, for taking the time to make this happen. And it was absolutely, again, a pleasure to have you all here as part of this. So yeah, so real quick, also want to give a shout out to Agadracker, who's on tech for this broadcast. So thank you so much for taking the time to make this broadcast happen. And yeah, real quick, a few announcements that we need to take care of. So for those who are not aware, we do have GDQ X, GDQ Express, which is our third GDQ event of the year. It's going to be happening September 27th through 29th. Just want to let you know that game submissions are happening for that right now. They will they will end tomorrow, July 14th, at the end of the day. So if you do want to submit towards Games Done Quick Express, make sure you go to our website, gamesdonequick.com, for more information on how you can do that. We also have Frame Fatales. For those who are not aware, Frame Fatales is back. It's going to be August 18th through the 22nd. And if you're interested in knowing what is going to be a part of that marathon, we will have the games list coming out July 18th. So that is going to be this Thursday. That'll be releasing. And finally, if you enjoyed broadcasts like this, we have more broadcasts that happen throughout the month, throughout the weeks. We do have a broadcast tomorrow, which is the Tree Fort. They're going to be doing a club dancing Tree Fort. So they're going to be showcasing some cool games that have to do with a little bit of rhythm action. So definitely check that out if you're interested. That starts tomorrow, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And that pretty much wraps up our announcements for the day. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We figure what better way to send you off with this wonderful hotfix than to give you some more lost levels, because we're going to go ahead and raid the Elder Spork. He's doing some lost levels attempts, so give him a shout out, check him out, see what's going on, and make sure you put that message 3608, because what better way to, raid than with a world record message like that, right? So yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you later.